The J Mustangs outlasted Brandeis last week, 58-57, for the right to be here tonight. Smithson Valley has beat Judson's number 1 ranked Rockets 2 weeks ago for the right to host Jay. It's playoff time, and the Rangers Network is here for you. Good evening, everyone. I'm Tony Brubaker alongside Jeff Gandy, the former Baylor Bear and Washington Redskin, as we bring you Ranger football tonight in what should be a great playoff game because it's the first one for us.
Well, the way I look at it, especially when you're a Smithson Valley fan, this is when the season actually begins, Tony. All the 2.5 months leading up to this is what these players and coaches go through in spring training, summer camp, and you look into the regular season. Now the season really begins, and I think they're pretty much geared up to really step it up and start the playoffs.
For the J Mustangs, they've got some offensive weapons, and their defense is senior laden. We'll talk about some individuals after we take our first time out. This is the Rangers Network with playoff football.
The University Interscholastic League would like to thank its corporate sponsors. Without the generous support of these sponsors, many UIL activities would not be possible. The UIL gives special thanks to the Army National Guard, Baden, Balfour, Baylor Scott and White, Dairy Max, Dairy Queen, Ford, Fox Sports Southwest, Gatorade, Hellas Construction, Max Preps, the NFHS Network, Nike, Register My Athlete, Texas Farm Bureau Insurance, and Tick-A-Tap Ticketing. These generous corporate sponsors support the UIL in all its activities, music, academics, and athletics. The UIL appreciates these sponsors and their participation in all that the UIL does in Texas extracurricular activities. On behalf of the UIL and its corporate sponsors, thank you for supporting UIL activities in your community, and thank you for listening to this state playoff contest. Enjoy the game.
Just got the GVTC Connect Home with Sky Bell.
Wow, you can see who's at your front door. Who is that?
Hello, Mr. Mueller. It's Marty from GVTC.
That's Mason Pierce, senior wide receiver and defensive back for the Rangers.
No, just Marty. Making sure everything's working. Video, doorbell, remote arming and disarming of your alarm, and you're getting text messages when windows or doors are opened.
Marty. Watch this. RANGERS! Rangers, Rangers!
The best! I mean, the best security on the planet.
We're back at Ranger Stadium for Rangers football here on the Rangers Network. It should be a good one. The J Mustangs bring in a 7-3 record. They're 3-2 in district. Again, they beat Brandeis last week, 58-57, in what was just an old-fashioned shootout. Right now they bring in a junior quarterback named Jacob Zeno. He's thrown for over 2,000 yards, 20 touchdowns, only 4 picks. He's also run for about 150 yards and a couple of touchdowns. He's got a running back that's run for over 1,800 yards, Jeff, and those are 2 pretty potent weapons for him.
I would say so. That's all you really need, maybe. But actually, the J Mustangs come in with a senior-ridden offensive line, and I think that's what's given Hastings the opportunity, just enough room to be able to make those big plays like he has been. He's averaging around 9 yards per carry. That's an incredible stat. Both of these young men have had tremendous years. But Zeno not only hands the ball off to Hastings, but he also has the number 1 receiving target, and that would be Marcus Alcaraz. He has over 600 yards receiving, averaging almost 20 yards per reception, 8 touchdowns, and he's an all-purpose type of player with 54 total points. So Zeno has more to distribute the football with than just himself and Hastings. So they have a lot of big powerful plays, explosive play potential tonight. So it's going to be a handful for the Ranger defense.
And really for that defense, they have to focus on 3 different receivers. You mentioned Alcaraz with 33 catches. 2 other receivers have caught at least 28 balls. And that is a potent offense when you can have an 1,800-yard rusher and 3 receivers who've caught that many passes. The defense, let's talk about it. Jacob Zuber, the number 1 defender all year long, leads in tackles with 120 and has all kinds of other stats. C.J. Keeler, defensive end on his side, has a 71 tackle situation. And then there are just a bunch of other guys having really good seasons, including a sophomore named Trey Witcher, who seems to plug everything up in the middle just like a defensive tackle is supposed to do. This is a big challenge for the defense.
It is a big challenge because when your defense has got to play solid up front, the Rangers play a base 4-3 defense. That means you got to take care of your gap and take care of your responsibility. And tonight they're going to have to really hold fast, and then in the sense of don't give up the big play potential to either Hastings or Zeno. And that's really going to be the call for them tonight. Other than that, try to create a few turnovers. And that's what also the Ranger defense has been able to do throughout the season.
Both teams are on the plus side of turnovers, but the Smithson Valley offense is really answered some questions this week because we left you last week with Levi Williams leaving the field on crutches. It was a hip injury, kind of a stinger with a helmet. He's back again, 1,700 plus yards passing, 20 TDs, only 7 picks. He's also run for 350 yards. He doesn't have a bell cow at running back, but he's got playmakers all over the place, including some receivers who've made some big plays all year long, and a couple of running backs, Aiken and Franco, who are dangerous in their own right.
Absolutely. In fact, they're undersized, but they play like Earl Campbell. Every time they get the football, Tony, they break through the line of scrimmage, and they don't go down on first point of contact. And that's what I like about their running style. The Ranger offense is built around everyone doing their job, everyone protect up front, and run downhill. And so they're not going to be fancy. They're just going to get after it and play fast and physical tonight.
Don't forget, we've got Trayvon Merrick Woodard, too. 26 catches on the season for almost 600 yards and 9 touchdowns. He's also carried the ball 20 times for over 100 yards and 2 touchdowns there. And by the way, he plays cornerback, too, where he's one of the best in the area. So we've got a good one tonight as both teams, and we won't forget the J defense, but we'll talk more about them later. This is going to be a good football game, first-round playoff game from Ranger Stadium. We hope you stay with us as this is the Rangers Network.
I'm Jaime Buenteo, produce buyer for H-E-B. We work hard to find the freshest, best produce available. That's why we work with Texas growers to buy local as much as possible, over 100 million pounds annually. In fact, we sell more produce than any other store in Texas. Grapefruit, corn, blueberries, and tons more. All grown right here in our beautiful backyard and on their way to your store within 24 hours. This is the local Texas Produce Department at H-E-B. No store does more than my H-E-B.
And welcome back to the Inside Rangers Football TV studio. Smithson Valley taking on the J Mustangs in the Region 4 6A Division II playoffs this Friday at Ranger Stadium. Now, Jay comes into this game with a record of 7-3. They won their final 2 games of the regular season and a virtual playoff game, a wild one, this past Friday over Brandeis, 58-57 in overtime. Coach, I know you had some assistance there scouting the game. What time did they get back in?
Yeah, it was pretty wild, pretty late, and they had quite a bit of information for us. But, you know, they've got the explosive capability. If they get into a shootout type game like that, well, they can stand toe-to-toe with anybody. If it takes 58 to win it, then we can do it because we've got those kind of playmakers, that kind of firepower.
A very relentless football team because, again, they essentially have been playing playoff games the past couple of weeks just to get into the postseason. You look at the offense for Jay, a team that scores 58 points in a must-win game. Obviously, they're very good. Jalen Hastings, in particular, has some of the best numbers for a running back in the greater San Antonio area. He ran for nearly 300 yards against the Broncos this past Friday. 4 games now with 200 yards or more, 1,800 yards in the season in a 10-game schedule. How do you slow him down?
Well, it's a good question. I'm sure it's something that all their opponents have been asking, and they've been a problem they've been unable to solve. You know, I think with their quarterback, you know, highly recruited kid, and the playmakers at receiver, they tend to spread you out all over the field, and then that leaves you a little short-handed on the run. And the ability of this young man and their offensive line, then, if that's what you're giving them, they're going to take it, and he can make you pay. A 5-yard gain for most people might be 50. And, of course, they throw it very, very well. So if you tank up to stop that, then they don't mind hurting you the other way. You know, they don't really have any weaknesses, and they don't. You can't say, well, let's stop the run, and that's all we got to do. But you can't say the other either. So we got a big challenge ahead of us.
Yeah, the quarterback is Jacob Zeno. He has thrown for over 2,000 yards himself this season, a touchdown-interception ratio of 20-4. Is there a comparable opponent you've played this season that you can compare to Jay?
Well, you know, it's very difficult to say. You know, 27 6A is a black and blue league. You know, most people are trying to line up and hurt your feelings running the football. But New Braunfels, the team that we played the most recently, you know, with their quarterback as talented as he was, throwing the ball to multiple people around the field, and then, he and the running back hurting you if you spread out too much. So similar styles. I think the athletes are in different areas are slightly different, good or bad, but similar attack than them as far as formations and the style of play that they use.
Breaking down the play of Jay's defense this season, they're giving up about 30 points per game, but they forced their share of turnovers, about 20 this year. They're getting after the quarterback as well. A very aggressive defense. What looks are you expecting to see on Friday?
Well, they're a 4-3 defensive team. They're not real multiple. They don't want to be. They line up virtually one way up front over and over because they're pretty good at it. And then their cornerbacks get after your wide receivers. They'll get right up in their face, man press, try to take away your short game and force you to throw it up the field. And then, they've got a good defensive front that pressure the passer. So they try to put pressure on you and make you get away from the things that have been good to you.
Just about every team you've played this season, you have a lot of history against. Jay, not so much. There's only been one prior meeting in the postseason 12 years ago. It was a Ranger win, by the way. No relation to the game this Friday, but what do you recall about that game?
Well, that was a second-round playoff game. I think we played them over there at Ferris Stadium, and they had a really fine team. And back and forth most of the first half. We got a couple of big plays in the second half, scored on a deep ball, if I recall, and pulled away, ended up winning by a couple of touchdowns. But, whether we can, I don't know that there's a whole lot of carryover in that none of our players had started first grade yet when that game was playing. So I think most of the players on both teams now are in their 30s, and they're probably not going to help us much.
Maybe not so much. Again, the game is at Ranger Stadium on Friday. A lot of times in the postseason, most of the games are played at neutral sites. You get to have a home game this Friday. What does that mean?
Well, it means a lot. 6A put that rule in, I guess, 3-4 years ago now, where the higher seeded team gets the home game automatically. And so we've been on both ends of that. We hosted last year, I guess 2 years ago, played Reagan up at their place. So, but you play at home, comforts of home, all your meeting rooms, dressing rooms are, things that you're familiar with. It's a routine you've done 5 times, but once the foot's put to the ball and the game starts, I think you just settle in and play football. So I hope it's an advantage, but I doubt Jay thinks it is.
I said earlier that Jay has been playing virtual playoff games the past few weeks, but to be fair, you really have as well. Playoff-like atmosphere games, certainly, and something on the line in every game you've played in district. How does that serve to help your team in getting ready for postseason play?
Well, you hope it does. It's pretty nerve-wracking. I guess the Clemens game, Canyon game, Judson game, the Braunfels game all came down to the fourth quarter, some of them down to the last play. Certainly playoff type atmospheres, you'd like to win by a little more comfortable margins. That's not always possible in our league. So that can't do anything but help us. Whether it helps us enough to be victorious, I guess we'll see. But I'd like to think there won't be an atmosphere that our kids hadn't been exposed to. And the more you're involved in something like that, the little less nerve-wracking it is. So we'll see.
All right, Coach, best of luck on Friday.
All right, thank you.
When you're ready for a break, hurry in to Chicken Express. Let us do all the cooking for you. We always offer high-quality, affordable meals that the entire family will enjoy. Our chicken is never frozen and it's hand-battered fresh, so you can really taste the difference. You can expect fast and friendly service at Chicken Express, whether you dine in, drive through, or drive up. Hurry in and hurry back to Chicken Express.
Have you brushed your teeth? Yeah! Did you brush your teeth? Yeah. Have you brushed your teeth? Yeah!
Moms, we've got you covered. Bring your kids to Summerhill Dental no matter how often they say they brush their teeth.
As the flag makes its way off the field, we're about 30 seconds or so from everybody taking the field and getting ready for tonight's kickoff. It's going to be a good one tonight. The Jay Mustangs are here at Ranger Stadium for a first-round playoff game in what should be a great playoff environment. A good home crowd for the Rangers, the Jay crowd kind of building. This is an environment that the Rangers are used to because they've been in a lot of playoff games through the past number of years. The Jay team, not so much. Their head coach, Gary Gutierrez, in his 5th season They're 7-3 this year, but the point I want to make is what kind of season this is for them. They were 9-31-1 the previous 4 seasons, which means this head coach won 9 games in 4 years and has won 7 this year.
Yeah.
There's probably nobody more excited about a chance to win an 8th game this year than him because of the way this season has happened.
Absolutely. When you're looking at building a program, you're looking at the kids that are coming up and the talent level that you have. And on defense, we already commented during our production meeting is that the J defense is really senior laden, and that's been the catalyst of getting this season start off on a good note. And then on the offense, they're really riddled with underclassmen, but very talented underclassmen. So the defense is plus 20 in turnover ratio, so they're giving the ball back to the talent on the offense, Tony, and therefore they're having better opportunities to compete in each game. And well, they're 7-3 this year. It's a lot better than it was last year, and now Gutierrez has something to build with year after year.
And you know it doesn't matter whether you're playing high school football, college football, the NFL, or even Pop Warner football. If you can make turnovers happen for your team, you can create a lot of success.
Absolutely.
Hastings is back, and here's the kickoff, which, thank goodness again, Mason Reed sends it through, and there will be no return. The J Mustangs will start 1st and 10 from their 25-yard line, and that'll be our first offensive play of the game. Again, the kickoff by Mason Reed. He has gotten really good at kicking off because of the success of the Ranger offense through the year, and he has had plenty of opportunities.
Well, and again, a good defense is a good kickoff team. And again, when you back your opponent up and they have to start on the 25, that's pretty good field position starting off.
So here come the Mustangs, 2 receivers to either side. Zeno, the quarterback, 6'4", 190, good size, good build. The junior looks to throw, spins away from a rush, now is running. Left side, has a corner to beat, and he's tackled actually by Brady Chubb, the safety who came up and made the play. Looks like he'd be brought down right near the 25, so no gain. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Right there we see the kind of formation that we're probably going to see most of the night from the J Mustangs, and that is double slot. They're in 10 personnel, 1 running back, all the rest are receivers, and they're going double slot again and basically let Zeno take his options under RPO, run pass option. That time, Zeno just saw the opportunity to dash on the outside.
Zeno takes the snap, gives it to Hastings. There's a pile there, though, and the defense is all over him. So a loss of a yard maybe back to the 24. Down at the bottom of that pile, that looks to be Trey Witcher, the sophomore defensive tackle. A bunch of other Rangers in there, too. This is a team defensive unit that has to play as a team tonight.
They really do. And create a couple turnovers, too, would be nice. And that kind of flips the field position and gets the ball back in your offensive hands.
So it is 3rd and 11 for Zeno and Hastings and the rest of the offense. 3 receivers right, 1 to the left. Zeno wants to throw, looking right, has a rush, avoids 1 defender, but then he's brought down. That is a good job by Jarrett Zillman, who came in and covered up after he snuck away from the initial rush. So a good job of defense on the first time, and that hasn't always been the case this year, but the Rangers force a punt.
Tony, that time they brought the middle linebacker, Will Gibbons, right up the gut. So there's actually 5 defensive linemen rushing the quarterback, and they were able to flush Zeno out for the sack. Great job.
Woodard with the wind on his side. The punter is Jamie Chino. The wind knocks it down pretty quick. It'll end up being about a 26-yard kick out near midfield where they'll spot it. Woodard did a great job of really not going up and trying to field something that had an awkward spin on it, if you will. But the Rangers will start in plus territory at the J49.
Well, good field position, 3 and out on your opening drive by your defense, and then the punting into the wind. It's a short punt. You get it on your opponent's 49-yard line. It's great field position for the Rangers.
This wind is out of, well, let's say it's right, your right side tonight.
Right to left.
Right to left. The offense out there, Levi Williams has a couple of backs, gives it to Aiken straight up the middle. He'll wrestle for about a yard before the Mustang defense brings him down. Give him to the 48. It'll be 2nd and 9. Again, Williams out there with 1,744 yards passing, 20 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. Chavez, Aldrete, Vaquera, and Marino are the front 4 for the J defense. Rojas, Salas, Tuck are the linebackers. And then the secondary, we'll talk about more of them later, but this is an offense that has to be productive early, I feel, to get a good start. There's a pass quickly out to Woodard. He breaks one tackle, then another. Finally, he's not wrestled down yet, not till he gets to the 25, and that was some tough work there. Seth Stavovich is one of the backup defensive ends, and he gets the tackle, but not before a Ranger first down.
Great athleticism by Woodard that time, and again, it was just a quick pass out to Woodard in a slot position, and he was manned up. Jay likes to run with their corners, what's called man press coverage. So he had a man up there tight on him, and all he has to do is juke him out, and he's got green AstroTurf till he gets tackled.
In motion, there's the handoff. It's Pierce, right side, got some room, breaks a couple of tackles inside the 10-yard line to about the 6. Another first down for the Rangers. That time the Rangers had overloaded everybody on the left side, and when Pierce went in motion, there was not much defensively out there on the right side.
Yeah, I give credit to the fullback, Diego Cervantes. He did a low block on the backside on the strong defensive end, Carlos Chavez. Nice job.
Rangers send 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Now some motion. This is Franco straight up the middle. That's a touchdown. Mark Franco in, his 3rd touchdown of the year, and the Rangers, after 1, 2, 3 plays, took it in the end zone from 49 yards out and take a 6-0 lead.
I think Coach Hill liked what he saw. 3 and out by your defense, and then 4 plays you're scoring. That's not a nice way to start the first playoff game.
Mason Pierce comes in for the extra point, 35 of 40 this season. He also has 4 field goals. The wind at his back, the snap is low. The hold was troublesome, and that one's blocked as it goes off his foot, or as Reed kicks it. Kind of a tough situation there. The snap kind of rolled back, and the holder did his best to put it down, but no luck, and the Rangers lead at 6-0. The extra point no good. We'll keep it here.
Yeah, but he couldn't get a good clean kick at the football.
He even hesitated kind of because he saw the ball wasn't snapped well. Anyway, the Rangers, who have outscored opponents almost 2-1 in the first quarter, get out early, 6-0. The Jay defense, again, has given up 44 points a game the last 5 games, even though they're 3-2 in those games, all district games. That's their district record. They have given up just over 29 a game for the season, but 44 points the last 5 games is their average. Even though they're 3-2, that's something I think is important to look at. The Rangers, by the way, the Jay offense this season has scored about 29 a game, like their defensive numbers. So
yeah.
That, again, 7-3 their record. The Rangers 9-1 on the year, 6-1 in the district. Won it by beating Judson 2 weeks ago, a Rocket team that was ranked #1 in the state when they did it, and it was quite a game here on a Friday night.
Overtime win, right?
Yes.
Overtime, last play of the overtime. That's what did it. I'll tell you, Coach Hill couldn't have asked for a better way. They started fast, they found a rhythm, and they played really clean those first 4 plays. And
yes,
that's Ranger football.
Reed again will kick with this monster wind behind him. He kicks it into the end zone regularly, but with this wind that has to be 15 to 20 miles an hour at the very least, and maybe more, the flags are all stiff out, and this wind will be troublesome for anybody going into it, I think, tonight, as long as it stays this strong.
When you look at Zeno's numbers throughout the course of the season, Tony, and he's averaging almost 18 yards per pass. And when you're throwing into this type of wind, it does something to the trajectory of the throw itself. So this may be a little troubling if he's trying to establish some sort of passing attack this second time.
Zeno again checks with the coaches. They'll hand it off. Hastings up the middle, gets a couple of yards before a couple of defenders, including Jacob Zuber, put him back. They give him a gain of 3 out to the 28, where it'll be 2nd and 7.
Yeah, little bit of a ball control maybe method right here to keep the Ranger offense on the sideline. This time they're just giving it to Hastings. See what kind of crease he can get through the defensive line. That time he did get a little bit of a crease, good for about 3 or 4 yards.
We've seen this a couple times this year. The quarterback goes all the way to the sideline to get the play from his head coach. I haven't seen him do it every play of this first quarter, but that's the first time he did do that. So 3 receivers to the right, or to the left. Here's a wide receiver screen, and then a pass off of it, and there's a man wide open. The defense had gone with the receiver who caught the pass, and that was Pierce. Perez, pardon me. And then the pass out there, well, Perez was the intended receiver. It was Danny Amaquita who threw the pass.
Hey, bottom line, it was a good-looking play. Just that, he overthrew an open receiver. That would have been 6 points.
Kind of surprised me.
That's kind of a break.
Nobody on the defense went with him as he snuck out. Here's Zeno on a roll. He's sacked. Defense in there in a hurry. That is C.J. Keeler, who, by the way, leads the team with now 11 sacks. And that forced another punt by the Mustangs.
Well, Zeno just trying to roll out to his weak side, the open side of formation, but Keeler playing his defensive end position. His role is to force everything back inside, and that way Zeno had nowhere to go.
The Mustangs a little slow getting someone on the field, and we'll have to see if they've called a timeout. They have. The Mustangs have taken a timeout with 7:06 to go in the first quarter. They'll punt into the wind when we come back after this timeout on the Rangers Network.
I'm Jaime Buenteo, produce buyer for H-E-B. We work hard to find the freshest, best produce available. That's why we work with Texas growers to buy local as much as possible. Over 100 million pounds annually. In fact, we sell more produce than any other store in Texas. Grapefruit, corn, blueberries, and tons more. All grown right here in our beautiful backyard and on their way to your store within 24 hours. This is the local Texas produce department at H-E-B. No store does more than my H-E-B.
Jamie Chino, the punter. This one not a good one as it goes off the side of his foot. He might get, as the Mustangs cover it in a hurry. It looks like about a 10-yard punt, no return. The Rangers will start 1st and 10 from the 33.
We got a flag down.
There is
about the 12-yard line.
There is a flag. It is holding against the those trying to protect the punter, and it will be declined. The Rangers have it 1st and 10 from the 33, and again, as they started from the 49, their first possession. This one at the 33, the offensive coach's best friend is a short field.
Absolutely. There's a lot you can do when you're starting at the opponent's 34-yard line, excuse me.
It is, again, the big offensive line of Clifton, Bauer, Schaefer, Hausler, and Kopney. Dorsal Hunter is the tight end that I think the world of as both a blocker and a key receiver. Couple of receivers to the left, one to the right. Actually, the holding penalty is walked off after the punt is downed, so the Rangers won't start at the 33. They'll start at the 23.
Coach Gutierrez for the J Mustangs is arguing where to spot the ball, but I think the head referee's kind of having to educate him on where you have to assess the penalty, don't you? Yeah.
Larry Hill's on the sideline kind of waving to his team like they should huddle up. And they do. Now they've talked about it. Looks like they wanted to sub Brant Anderson in, but no sub. Cervantes in the slot to the left. Gilliam beside him. They want to throw quickly to Gilliam. It goes off his hands and incomplete. Good coverage on the play by Malik Ross, the senior defensive back, but it's 2nd and 10 for the Rangers.
That time again, the J secondary playing that press man coverage on the outside wide receivers. They want to just basically force you to eliminate the intermediate type of quick pass, and that was a good example of doing that.
Woodard's in, receiver left. A couple of backs in the backfield. We'll give it this way. It is Eggleston. He won't get much. Thrown out of bounds at about the 21. Pardon me. Yeah, the 21. So a short gain, maybe a yard. It's 3rd and 9. And the Ranger offense, which was so efficient on 3 plays in their first drive, has struggled a little bit on this drive, just with an incomplete pass and then a short run. We'll see what they do now on 3rd and long.
Well, Tony, the last couple of plays, they've tried to go out wide. And, the J Mustang defense has a lot of speed, and they're catching them. That time, the cornerback or the outside linebacker, Rojas, was all over the running back. So, I don't know. I'd attack right at him.
Williams wants to throw, looks right now, looks left, has a man. It's Hunter. That pass goes through his hands. It goes incomplete. It'll be 4th down. With the wind at his back, I believe Mason Reed will come on to try a field goal attempt. 4 so far this season for the senior kicker. I'm sorry, the junior kicker. Pardon me for graduating him already.
His parents might like that.
Reed will kick it from about the 29, so it's a 39-yard field goal try. This snap is good. The hold is down. The kick, a nice end-over-end kick, goes right through the uprights.
Wow.
And the Rangers take a 9-0 lead with 6 minutes and 32 seconds to go. We're back after this timeout on the Rangers Network.
Snoring, sleep apnea, teeth grinding, daytime tiredness. It's time to solve the problem. Dr. Matt Bayless and Summerhill Dental are right here in the Spring Branch Bulverde community and can help you stop snoring without the use of loud, uncomfortable machines. Summerhill Dental is your partner in getting a better night's sleep tonight. Our appliances are a proven solution to stop snoring and sleep apnea. No CPAP, no surgery. Log on to summerhilldental.com or call Dr. Bayless today.
The Rangers up 9-0, about halfway through the first quarter. Mason Reed comes on to kick off for the third time tonight. The wind at his back, again howling at about 20 miles an hour. Kick coverage is a lot easier when it goes through the end zone, I know that.
Well, right now they're taking full advantage of the advantage of having a wind at your back for sure with the field position, making it short and easy to score points.
Reed approaches his kick, probably the best one of the 3 so far. It will land at the back of the end zone near the goalpost, and the J Mustangs will start for the third time from their own 25-yard line, 1st and 10 against this Ranger defense, which has been pretty stingy so far tonight, as they have been all season, allowing just 13.4 points a game.
Yep.
Only 252 yards a game is what they're averaging, and 20 turnovers forced, and that's a +9. So now the Mustangs send 5 receivers out, 3 to the right, 2 to the left. Zeno and the offensive line all look to the sideline, except for the center, of course. He can't move. They talk about the change. Zeno has the sign, takes the snap, wants to throw, has a low throw that looks to be incomplete. Intended for one of his many receivers. Alcaraz, the leading receiver, couldn't get that one as the ball went down low, and I don't know if the wind had something to do with that, but it certainly could have.
Well, it looked like it did actually, Tony, because he wasn't able to step into it because he had a defender in his face. So when you can't get that velocity behind your pass, it will dive. And that time with the wind resistance, it was a bad pass right in the dirt.
This time the 3 receivers go to the left and 2 go to the right. They're really trying to spread out the Rangers defense, but that front 4 plus linebackers still look like they all want to come. For a rush, there's a flag, probably a legal procedure would be my guess, and the Mustangs fall deeper into a hole. It is illegal procedure, and it's 2nd and 15.
Well, my notes as far as the Ranger defense, what do they need to do against Zeno and Hastings? Number 1 on my list was confuse Zeno's reads. Just confuse him and control his ability to become dual or that run pass option. And so far, the defense has been able to accomplish that.
Zuber, Gibbons, and Zoig, the linebackers out there, trying to wreak havoc on the J offense, who looks to the sideline again. 5 receivers set for Zeno. Takes the snap, looks right, now wants to run, kind of a quarterback draw, gets some yards across the 25. Did they run over the umpire? I think they got pretty close, but he avoided the tackle himself. A gain out to the 28 will bring up 3rd and about 7.
You know, Zeno, he's not just a quarterback just going to want to pass the ball. He's a pretty good runner himself, so you have to account for him as a linebacker, maybe start to spy him, because that time he picked up a lot of real estate that they lost on the penalty before.
So it is 3rd and 7, 5 receivers set for the Mustangs. The Rangers now walk 2 linebackers to the edges. Zuber the only one not coming, and they get close to him, and the throw goes incomplete. Intended for Alcaraz again. This one wide left. Zeno picking himself up off the ground after both Gibbons and Flores were there to knock him down.
Yeah, pressure will do that to any quarterback. When you have to hurry and you disrupt the timing of the pass pattern in the play, it really wreaks havoc, and so far that's what the Ranger defense has been able to do. When I say confuse Zeno, throw his reads off, that's exactly what they're doing.
So from the 28-yard line, punter Jamie Chino, the senior, We don't have an average on them because they don't listen. This is a low line drive kick. Fielded by Woodard at the 45. Breaks one tackle. Now another one wrapping him up, and here comes help, and the whistle blows. The kick, which goes about 32 yards on this one.
Yeah.
Or 28 yards, pardon me, 28 yards on this one, and Woodard's return is about a yard. And, oh, by the way, his average on the season on punt returns is 14.3. He does not have a punt return for a touchdown this year. That's only the 13th one he's returned. Last year he had 4 TDs on punt returns. They don't kick it to him much anymore.
No.
I wonder why.
Why would you? In fact, that last punt's about the best punt you could have into this win.
Williams sends a couple of receivers to the right, a couple of backs beside him and behind him. This looks to be Aiken. There's a hole on the left side. No, it's Franco, and he's got a good gain out past midfield to the 47-yard line, 48-yard line of the Mustangs. Give him 6 on the play. It's 2nd and 4. Good-looking hole on that left side of the line.
Yeah, it looked like the J front 4 slanted to the strong side of the formation that time, Tony, and Franco just cut it back on the backside, the weak side, and it was a gaping hole. It was just a good-looking play.
Some new players on the roster this year. We'll talk about them as they come on. Here's Franco again, straight up the middle, bounces off a tackler, now breaks through another arm tackle and gets out beyond the 30. A nice-looking run of almost 17 yards to the 30-yard line. It's 1st and 10 for the Rangers, and the J defense kind of reeling now with all the things they're seeing.
Yeah. And, you know, Franco, I just enjoy watching him run. I mean, he just takes so many defenders with him. He's only, what is he, 5'9", about 190 pounds. I mean, he's small in frame, but he plays large, you know, because it takes about 3 or 4 tacklers just to try to get him down.
Good feet, and it looks like he runs with high knees sometimes to get through some places. Here's a timeout on the field by the Rangers with 4:26 to go in the opening frame. We'll keep it here. Kind of curious at this moment, 1st and 10 from the 30. What did you see? What could have been seen to call a timeout now and just put a little hesitation on this?
Well, I don't know. You have momentum. You've just made 2 first downs. You seem to be running right at them, like I suggested before. You know, the Jays defense has a lot of speed. Their corners and their safeties can get to the edge quickly. So when you run right at them, I think you have an advantage. I mean, the offensive line for the Rangers average 254 pounds. They outweigh and they're bigger than the defensive front 4, so I would run right at them, and that's what they've been doing. I don't know what Coach Hill was doing. Maybe he just had something he wanted to talk to the kids about real quick. We have 4 minutes and 26 seconds left in the first quarter. We had the win advantage. Let's make sure we're all on the same page.
Don't miss the UIL Football State Championships on December 20th through 23rd at AT&T Stadium in Arlington. Tickets are available to purchase now through Ticketmaster. For more information, visit uiltexas.org. The Rangers back out, 1st and 10 from the 30. Williams takes the snap, hands it to Franco, right side, bounces through, gets about 5 or 6 yards. Before really he's even facing a lot of contact, he's through the line of scrimmage, and that'll bring up 2nd and 4 from the 24-yard line.
I'll tell you right now, the offensive line for the Rangers, they are getting to their man and staying with their man and driving their legs. The defensive line and linebackers cannot get off a block, and that's why Franco's picking up these extra yards.
Their defensive line, their 2 inside people are 295 and 255. Their 2 ends are 175 and 215, so not a lot of size on the edges. Here's Franco again, bounces it out, but then he's stopped. Good-looking tackle that time. Looked to me maybe the linebacker Salas.
Yeah, it looked like the Will linebacker Isaiah Tuck, number 14, came backside, and that's his responsibility. The flow goes away from you, you've got the backside cut back, and so that time Tuck was there to meet the ball carrier.
A gain of a couple of yards. Looks like they're almost to the 21. We'll call it the 22. It's 3rd and 2. 3 receivers to the left. Williams barks the first signal out, then looks to the sideline to see how the defense will line up and what they'll do differently. Again, 3 receivers left. They give it to Franco. Big hole left side. Good enough for a first down as he crosses the 20 before he's brought down there. A couple of different Mustangs were there to knock him over, but again, the left side of that line with Bauer and Clifton just opened up a big hole.
Yeah, and number 72, Michael Hausler, 6 feet 250. Tony just caved the defensive lineman down. That's what gave that hole opening for Franco to run through.
So 1st and 10 from the 18. Little motion from Hunter. Williams rolls right, has some room, has a man. It's Hunter who was in motion. He aims for the corner of the end zone. He'll be pushed out inside the 5, but another Ranger first down has him first and goal inside the 5-yard line, and the Rangers up 9-0 with 2.5 to go in the first quarter are marching and threatening again.
Good-looking bootleg to the outside, and Levi Williams had the option of either tucking it and running or throwing it to Hunter. Hunter was wide open in the flats. The linebacker was not able to pick him up. It's a good-looking play. Good for first down, goal to go.
Diego Cervantes marches out onto the field and lines up wide right, then comes back into a slot right. They'll run it up the middle. It's Franco and another touchdown for the junior running back, Mark Franco, his 3rd and 4th touchdowns of the season tonight. The Rangers are up 15-0 as he goes virtually untouched to the end zone. 15-0, the extra point to come.
You know, that last drive when they after the punt, all the plays they ran between tackles, look where they were getting their real estate. Run right at them.
So you throw wide, you run wide, and then you run up the middle on the first drive. Now you just jam it down their throat.
Go right at them. You know, the strength of the defense is right between the tackles, and if you get a hold of those big guys and move them out, they've got a lot of opportunities to run the plays.
Mason Reed's extra point is a good one. So with timeout on the field, the Rangers lead at 16-0, 2:25 to go in the game. We're back after this timeout on the Rangers Network.
When you're ready for a break, hurry in to Chicken Express. Let us do all the cooking for you. We always offer high-quality, affordable meals that the entire family will enjoy. Our chicken is never frozen and it's hand-battered fresh so you can really taste the difference. You can expect fast and friendly service at Chicken Express, whether you dine in, drive through, or drive up. Hurry in and hurry back to Chicken Express.
So Hastings goes back deep again for the Mustangs. Mason Reed comes out for the 4th time for a kickoff opportunity. And the wind is still in his back with 2:25 to go in the opening frame. The Rangers playing this first quarter with a stout wind, about 20 miles an hour at their back. Just remember when the quarter changes, then they'll be going into that wind.
Yeah. Well, you and I were talking, there's no way that Jalen Hastings is not going to be just signing all game long. He's going to put together something here pretty soon for the J Mustangs. He's too good of an athlete. He's one of the area best, leading rushers. Can't keep him on the field.
Kickoff goes through the end zone as you would expect, or at least I'm expected to tell you that. So the Mustangs will come back from their own 25 and start again, 1st and 10 from there. I'm sure that Jacob Zeno and his offensive mates would like to do something different here, and that's maybe get a first down. They don't have one yet in 3 previous tries. Zeno now with basically, and the formations are so different. This full house backfield. He's got a back on either side of him and a kind of a halfback to the right side. A little delay handoff. This is Hastings, and he's brought down. Boom. Looks like that's Zuber that was clear over here this time. Zuber got the better part of that tackle, a gain of about 2 for Hastings to the 27. Now the clock is stopped with 2:12 to go. It's an official's timeout as the Rangers have a player down on the field, and that looks to be Zillman.
Yeah.
The senior defensive end seems to be hobbled in some way, and now he finally goes back down as he tried to get under his own power and walk off. So with a break in the action and the Rangers leading at 16-0 with 2:12 to go in the opening frame, we'll take another timeout on the Rangers Network.
Hello, I'm Steve from GVTC, here to install your 1 gig per second internet service.
Hey, you're Ranger Senior Trayvon Merrick Woodard.
No sir, I'm Steve with GVTC.
Come on. Cornerback, kick punt return, wide receiver.
I'll be over here. I'll let you know if I need anything.
Just came in to set up your Wi-Fi. Thanks, Steve.
Mr. Zillman will make his way off the field, mostly under his own power, but with a limp. Guess he's leaning on one of the trainers as he makes his way off, and right away the Mustangs are back in offensive situation. It is 2nd and 8. Handoff to Hastings going left. He goes wide, had to go back because of penetration in the backfield. This time he turns it upfield and gets a good gain out near first down territory, and the Mustangs do have their first down of the night. Exactly 10 minutes and 2 seconds into the first quarter.
Yep, sweep to Hastings, and he went around the weak side of the formation. He had a wall of blockers. They pulled an offside guard, and he had a wall of blockers. That was a good-looking play for first down.
So 1st and 10 from the 36. Again, kind of a full house backfield with a halfback off the right tackle, inside the right tackle.
Almost like a wing.
Almost. This is another handoff. This is Hastings again. Bounces it outside right, tries to break a tackle, brought down by a shoestring before he breaks that one good. Looks to be, that is Ethan Sill, one of the junior safeties, saved a touchdown there. A gain of 8 makes it 2nd and 2.
Well, as we enter the end of the first quarter, we see that the Mustangs are getting some sort of rhythm on offense by going to that full house backfield.
Instead of spreading out the Rangers, they're trying to put some more bodies on bodies in there because the defense in front of the Rangers ate them up the first 3 possessions. Zeno wants to throw, has a man right side. Good throw and catch. A completed pass to Jordan Choate, the junior receiver, with his 29th reception of the year. He has 5 touchdowns. This one's good for a first down out to the 48-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Mustangs.
Not a bad looking play. You hit your tight end that's flexed out on a little 8-yard hook, and he was wide open. The linebacker came to tackle him, but it was enough for the first down.
I don't know that he's a tight end now that I think about it. He's just he's a big dude. Hastings up the middle, gets tripped up but falls forward, gets a couple of yards to the Ranger 29. Looks like it'll be 2nd and 8. Really bogged up in the middle by a bunch of different, I think Trey Witcher again at the bottom of that, along with Manoa Pau. So those defensive tackles that we've complimented all year because they've been such a nuisance in the middle of the line, really making plays tonight.
Hastings his size is 5'8", 165, and I tell you what, someone like that getting through the line of scrimmage, you may lose him, and that's kind of to his advantage as well. So I'll keep an eye on that and see if that maybe happens later in the game.
So we've got a timeout on the field. The Rangers lead at 16-0 as we head to the second quarter on the Rangers Network.
Just press enter and your GVTC home DVR will record your show automatically.
Thanks, Doug from GVTC, who looks exactly like Rangers senior CJ Keeler.
I'm just Doug, here to help.
Fumble!
Here you go. Can I help you set up your favorite channel list now?
The Ranger defense out on the field as we start the second quarter with a 16-0 Rangers lead. The J Mustangs trying to get something going, finally have somewhat of a productive drive going with a couple of first downs. It's 2nd and 8 from the Ranger 49. The fake handoff to Hastings. Zeno wants to throw, pressure on him, overthrows his big receiver Choate. Almost intercepted by Mason Pierce as he went up high trying to pull it in, and it goes incomplete. It'll be 3rd and 8.
Again, pressure by Keeler that time, Tony, getting in the backfield and getting in Zeno where he can't really step in and deliver a really nice pass to his receiver. So that basically throwing off the back leg, that means the ball's going to sail on you. And look what we see. They got the wind at their back. First play, pass. Here we go.
Zeno 1 of 5 here in the early going. Not having a whole lot of luck throwing the ball. That's the first one with the wind behind him, and that one sailed. Now they've gone back to their 5 wideouts. Zeno wants to throw. It's to Hastings, kind of a screen here on the left side. Goes through his hands, though, as I think he turned to run before he caught the ball. It goes incomplete. It's 4th down, and now they'll punt with the wind at their back.
Well, the play was set up. He had blockers in front. I probably would have made a first down on it because it was set up nicely. That time Hastings just took his eye out the ball, like you said, Tony, and trying to run before he had the ball and ended up being incomplete.
And anyone around football knows you can't run without the ball. Jamie Chino, the senior punter, now has an opportunity to use the wind instead of kicking into it. Another low snap, a lot of pressure. He gets it off, gets bumped by his own man, and this kick will bound inside the 10-yard line and go out of bounds at the 3. So the Rangers, who've had good field position a couple of times, now find themselves backed up into their corner at the 3-yard line.
Looks like the side judge is those putting it at the ball went out earlier than that, Tony.
So it went out of bounds and then bounded down the field?
I think so.
I don't know that I saw that, but that's well, he's marking it at the 20 and giving the ball.
Yeah, he's putting it at the 20, spotting it at the 20.
But it's right on the 20. Is that because it went out at the 20 or it didn't go into the end zone? That's a confusing situation. In any event, instead of at their own 3-yard line, the Rangers start 1st and 10 from their own 20, and that's certainly good news. Levi Williams sends a couple of receivers to the right, one to the left. Got a lone setback behind him. He fakes the handoff, now wants to throw, has Woodard over the middle, makes a nice throw and a good catch. Woodard now in a foot race. He goes past the 40, the 30, the 20. No one will catch him as he outruns the safety, Diego Jasso, the junior safety. No chance for the senior receiver, Trevon Merrick Woodard. His 10th touchdown reception of the season, averaging almost 22 yards a catch. That'll go up on his 27th reception of the year. Yep. Good throw by Levi Williams and a great catch by Woodard and run.
Well, just when you think that you can't throw into this wind, what do the Smithson Valley Rangers do on first down? Throw a 9 route, a post route to probably their best athlete on the team, Woodard, and he races in for a touchdown.
The kick is up and it's good. But that's a dart to throw into a 20-mile-an-hour wind and have him have to jump for it. You know you've thrown a hard pass.
Guess what? He had all the time in the world to step into it and just heave it down there. It was a beautiful pass.
Levi Williams with his 21st touchdown reception of the season. The Rangers go up 23-0 here early in the second quarter. We're back after this timeout on the Ranger Network.
When you're ready for a break, hurry in to Chicken Express. Let us do all the cooking for you. We always offer high-quality, affordable meals that the entire family will enjoy. Our chicken is never frozen and it's hand-battered fresh so you can really taste the difference. You can expect fast and friendly service at Chicken Express, whether you dine in, drive through, or drive up. Hurry in and hurry back to Chicken Express.
The Rangers lead this one 23-0. Opening minute of the second quarter. Stats by Chris Gutierrez, always on track. 184 total yards for the Rangers, 30 yards for the Mustangs. Levi Williams now 3 of 5, 119 yards, 1 touchdown. Mark Franco has rushed 7 times for 44 yards and a pair of touchdowns. By the way, Mr. Woodard has 103 receiving yards tonight on 2 catches.
On 2 catches, right.
Ball looks like it was
blown
off the tee. Now that didn't happen with the wind at your back, but now that you're kicking into the wind, the wind knocks it off. I don't really know that it's blowing any harder now than it was a half hour ago or 45 minutes ago, but
well, the J Mustangs, they need a big play out of their go-to man, Hastings, on this kickoff.
Reed will pooch it kind of left. It'll be short, and Upback will field it across the 15-yard line. Coming left, breaks a tackle. Now the Rangers have him kind of bottled up about the 26-yard line. A good return by Nathan Garcia, one of their safeties, as the Rangers kept it away from Hastings, but Garcia runs it out to the 27-yard line where the Mustangs will start 1st and 10.
Not bad at all as far as the the kickoff coverage team, if I could spit it out. It was a short kick, and the running back only got maybe about 8 yards out of it. So, again, not super great field position for the J Mustangs.
So with a full house backfield again, 1 receiver to either side. Choate and Perez, the receivers that are split. Zeno again looks to want to run the ball. Hands off to Hastings on a little sweep right. Into the backfield is Keeler. And then everybody else is back there too. I think Flores got the first hit on him. Zuber was there too. A loss of about 3 to the 24. It'll be 2nd down and 13.
Yeah, Keeler had initial penetration, and then Zuber came back and just finished off the play. You know, any kind of disruption in the backfield is going to blow up the offensive play. And that time it was headed up by Keeler and Zuber.
So quickly they switched to 4 receivers, 3 on the left, 1 on the right. Hastings the lone setback. Hastings again has run for over 1,800 yards this season, averages 9 yards a carry. Tonight he's not. Zeno wants to throw, looking right, kind of a little screen. It's Choate, makes a nice catch in traffic, then runs away from some defenders across the 40-yard line, brought down at about the 43. It's a first down for the Mustangs. But again, Jordan Choate, the junior for the Mustangs, 28 catches, 456 yards coming in, 16 yards of reception, and 5 touchdowns. That time, a lot of traffic, but a good throw and catch gets him a first down.
Hastings was a decoy that time and a flare out, and it opened up then the passing lane to get to Choate. And so Zeno was able to see him for about an 8-yard button hook, and Choate did the rest on himself to pick up the first down.
Zeno with a receiver to either side, a couple of running backs with him. This time gives it to Hastings, and he bursts up the middle, has another first down as he's across midfield before he's tripped up and goes down at the 46-yard line. And the Mustangs again finding some rhythm as we're in the opening couple of minutes of the second quarter. The Rangers leading at 23-zip. Mustangs, who've had a prolific offense this season, trying to find some kind of an answer to beat this Rangers defense.
That little cutback dive to Hastings was wide open on the backside, the weak side. It looked like the offside linebacker just flowed too quickly, and it was an open hole.
This is another running back. It's their, well, let's see. Looked like 23. Marcus Alcaraz caught it, or took the hand off and ran up the middle, got a couple of yards to about the 44. We'll call it second down and 8. He's the other back there with Hastings, and this time they gave it to him.
Will Gibbons did a nice job staying at home, Tony, and making the tackle on that one from his middle linebacker position.
So Hastings is to the left of Zeno. This time it's Amaquita. Now here's Hastings up the middle. Not much of a gain, maybe a yard to the 43. It'd be third down and 7. The defense really stepping up now after a couple of big gains, tightening up on this drive.
I would definitely be keeping my eye on number 85, Jordan Choate. That seems to be the go-to receiver this first half of the game for Zeno. He split out wide on the weak side.
Zeno again looks to the sideline for any changes to the play. Play clock goes near 10. Now he hands it off to Hastings. A good seam up the middle near the first down, which would be about the 36-yard line.
It's close.
Looks like they're going to wave the sticks along, so another first down at the 36 for the Mustangs. The Rangers that time had gave up a little bit of a seam where he squirted through, and you can see why he has 1,800 yards rushing this year. He's quick to the line.
He is. It doesn't take much, too. Like they say, give him a little crease, and he can go. He can go all the way to pay dirt.
So the Mustangs having more success with their tight end formation. Here's Hastings again. Scampers to his left, then kind of cuts back to the right, up past the 30-yard line before he's pushed back by a whole host of Rangers. Pow was in the backfield. Keeler was there among the tacklers. At the 29-yard line, it's second down and a short 3.
There's a whole lot more you can do with second and short because you're ahead of the sticks, and that way they can spread them out like they're doing a little bit here, and they have more options of maybe the RPO, run-pass options.
So right now their best receiver, Alcaraz, is the guy that's kind of an H-back off the right tackle. A couple of backs on either side. Here's a fake to Hastings, a throw to the left. It was intended for Perez, but he seemed to be going about 5 yards further than Zeno wanted to throw it, and he didn't even get to his cut before the ball zipped by.
Yeah, I think Zeno thought he was just going to turn and do a little quick hitch. And, of course, Alvarez, he was going all the way downtown. Basically, he's doing a quick slant. Definitely not on the same page.
So Perez comes back to the left. It is Choate to the right. Hastings and Amaquita in the backfield. Zeno takes the snap, gives it to Hastings. Boy, he squirts through again before he's hit hard by Brady Chubb, and he goes tumbling down at the 25-yard line, but that's good for another first down.
Again, they're trying to exploit the backside of the defense, the Ranger defense, because they're trying to flow so fast, the linebackers, and that cutback lane is sometimes open. That's where Hastings making some hay in the secondary right there.
So their offensive line has kind of stepped up and opened some holes for their running game.
Well, they got a little rhythm going now. They kind of feel like we know what's going to work, and we can keep the defense guessing, and we become more
This time, as much momentum as they might have had, Mr. Jacob Zuber says, I'm going to stand here and stop you because I know where it's coming. Hastings takes the handoff and goes nowhere. A gain of nothing makes it 2nd and 10, and Jacob Zuber, there's no tackle for loss, there's no sack, it's just a tackle, one of his 120 this season.
Probably about, what is his 4th already tonight?
Probably.
In a quarter and a half.
Zeno checks to the sideline. Again, one receiver split either way. 2 other receivers sort of in the backfield with him. Zeno checks the coaches for a 2nd time as the play clock goes under 10. Gives it to Hastings. Kind of cuts back over the middle. Flores has a wrap-up on him, but not until Hastings drags him about 5 yards to the 20. That'll make it 3rd and 5 from the 20-yard line. The Mustangs with their deepest threat of the night down to the Rangers, 23-0 right now, with 5:45 on a running 2nd quarter clock.
3rd and 5. This is going to be an interesting call right here. I would look for number 85, Choate. Jordan Choate, again, he split out wide to the right. He's kind of, he's been the go-to man for Zeno at this point in the game.
Zeno again checks to the sideline. Play clock at 5. Drops straight back. Looks right to Choate. Has a running back. Actually, it's a receiver coming out of the backfield. Runs into his own man, but then gets down to the 5-yard line. A nice throw and catch. A nice job of working the ball into the open spaces. Amaquito takes it and gets a 1st down, and they'll spot him down at the 5. It'll be 1st and goal for the Mustangs.
Again, it's that 2nd receiver coming out of the backfield. Seems to be all alone. The linebackers is not picking him up, and that time Zeno had an easy passing catch for a 1st down.
So 1st and goal from the 5. The Mustangs with their first real threat of the half with 5 minutes to go in the 2nd quarter. Zeno with a lone setback behind him. 2 slots to the left. He wants to run up the middle. Uses some force, some offensive line push, but only gets a couple of yards. They'll mark him down just inside the 4, we'll say the 3-yard line. It'll be 2nd and goal from there.
Well, I know the Mustangs would like to get in the end zone for 7 points, but the bottom line is they're eating up a lot of clock, and they're keeping their offense on the field and the Ranger offense off the field. That's always a good thing if you're behind 23-0.
No doubt about it. Zeno again checks to the sideline as one lone receiver is out to the left, and that is Perez. They'll hand it off. It's
Same
Hastings.
play.
It's clogged up. Same as before. This time he might get another yard. No, I think they keep him at the 3. No gain, 3rd and goal from the 3.
He's 5'6", 5'8", 165 pounds. You really lose him with all that meat up there, that beef. The big men are up there, so sometimes he can squirt through. But there's no prevail against the Ranger defense so far.
He'd be hidden more if their offensive line was taller at 6 foot, 5'11", 5'10", 6 foot, and 6'2". They're not real big, kind of wide. Hastings fake, pass to the left side. Incomplete as it sails past Alcaraz. So it's 4th down, and I believe the kick unit will come on for the Mustangs. So they'll try to get points at least. Rangers make their defensive adjustment. Jamie Chino is the kicker. He's also the punter.
Left-legged kicker too.
Maybe not. This looks like number 3, Carlos Chavez. The kick is up, and it's good. So the Mustangs get on the board with the left-footed kicker putting it through the uprights. It's 23-3 with 3:41 to go in the opening quarter. We're back after this timeout on the Rangers Network.
I'm Jaime Buenteo, produce buyer for H-E-B. We work hard to find the freshest, best produce available. That's why we work with Texas growers to buy local as much as possible. Over 100 million pounds annually. In fact, we sell more produce than any other store in Texas. Grapefruit, corn, blueberries, and tons more. All grown right here in our beautiful backyard and on their way to your store within 24 hours. This is the local Texas produce department at H-E-B. No store does more than my H-E-B.
So I'll be corrected here. Jamie Chino kicked the field goal. Again, we don't have any stats on him, so I'm guessing it's his first of the year because that's all I know about. He's a left-footed kicker, and he'll kick off now. The punter has not been Chino tonight, even though that's what their depth chart lists. That has been Carlos Chavez, the defensive end that also duels as a kicker.
I'll bet you Chino puts this out of the end zone. What do you think?
The wind at his back. He pooches it end-over-end kick is fielded at about the 30-yard line by, is that Ethan Sill? Up the left sideline. He's got a good run back past midfield. Finally down in a huddle of players inside the 45-yard line at the 43, where the Rangers will start in plus territory again as Ethan Sill, the backup safety, makes a nice run back.
Not quite understanding why you would pooch it unless you're going to onside it. Otherwise, just you got the wind your back, kick it out of the end zone and let the Rangers have all 80 yards to try to get a touchdown, you know? Now they're going to start in Jay's territory at the 44-yard line. I don't understand it.
We've said that a lot this year.
Yeah.
We've said that a lot. We don't understand. The Ranger offense is on the field. In motion, this is Pierce coming right with a sweep, has a couple of blocks, gets past the initial line, gets caught from behind but drags the defender with him. Malik Ross, one of the defensive backs, the right corner actually brings him down, but not till Pierce gets clear inside the 30 at the 28-yard line. A nice gain of over 15 yards, and it's 1st and 10 from the 28.
Well, let me give credit to number 25, Diego Cervantes. Again, a fullback position. He had probably the most important block on the perimeter. He held that block long enough for Pierce to get around the corners. A great job.
A fake pass, or a fake handoff, now a pass. The receiver catches it. It's Hunter. He's in the end zone. Adorzo Hunter, his 21st reception of the season, is 4th for a touchdown. That time he caught the ball around the 10-yard line, was wrapped up semi-good right then, and then took the defender on his back all the way into the end zone for another Ranger touchdown. It's 29-3 with 2 minutes and 56 seconds to go in the second quarter.
Hunter was not challenged at the line of scrimmage, so he got a clean start off in the line of scrimmage, and he's able to get in front of the safety. He's wide open for the quick hitch, and then it's just take it in the end zone after that.
Yeah, he was open when he caught it. The kick by Mason Reed is good. It's 30-3. He was open when he caught it, but then the defense, I mean, he carried a guy at least the last 7 or 8 yards, and that's a great-looking touchdown reception by the senior tight end, Adorzo Hunter, who's known more for his blocking this season than his receiving. But again, that's his 21st catch and his 4th touchdown. The Rangers lead it 30-3. Just under 3 minutes to go in the opening quarter. We're back after this timeout on the Rangers Network.
Snoring, sleep apnea, teeth grinding, daytime tiredness. It's time to solve the problem. Dr. Matt Bayless and Summerhill Dental are right here in the Spring Branch Bulverde community and can help you stop snoring without the use of loud, uncomfortable machines. Summerhill Dental is your partner in getting a better night's sleep tonight. Our appliances are a proven solution to stop snoring and sleep apnea. No CPAP, no surgery. Log on to summerhilldental.com or call Dr. Bayless today.
The Rangers lead this one 30-3. It is the second quarter, closing minutes of the second quarter.
I'll tell you,
Reed getting ready to kick off, but everybody's moving kind of slow right now.
I tell you, Hunter is kind of like the unsung hero. I mean, he does such a good job all season long, and in blocking and in catching in tough situations like that and scoring. I tell you, he's just kind of like that versatile player that you always need on your offense. Hunter's been that player all season long.
The end-over-end kick by Reed, kind of a pooch kick, trying to send it to the opposite side of the field. I think the wind caught it and sailed it clear out of bounds near the 30-yard line. The Ranger defense will now find themselves waiting to see where they'll spot the ball. Probably the 35-yard line. Is that not where it goes when it goes out about the 34?
34-yard line, that's where it did. Well, it's going to be interesting. Just under 3 minutes left in the first half. Jay has found a little bit of a rhythm running the football, but it takes a lot of time off the clock. We're going to see if Jay's going to just go for it here and try to get some more points quickly before the first half ends.
Zeno hands it off. It's Hastings coming left. Oh, he gets popped. After he gets back to the line of scrimmage, he got popped right in the midsection, and that will be no gain. It'll be 2nd down and 10. The defense really coming to play.
Yeah, nothing there for Hastings whatsoever. Running that little counter run back to the weak side. This time the Ranger defense snuffed it out. No gain.
So get a full house backfield. They all check the sideline along with the receivers and everybody on the offensive line, but the center, Zeno waits for it, takes the snap, gives it to Hastings, angling right. Zuber and others there to pile him up after a short gain to the 35-yard line, a gain of 1. And I think the Rangers call a timeout with 2:15 to go in the quarter. It'll be 3rd down and 9. Larry Hill and his coaches thinking maybe we'll get one more possession out of this if we do manage to stop them on 3rd down. And even though they have the wind with their punt, maybe we can get a opportunity to score again.
Well, absolutely. That last play, number 75 Diaz, the offensive left guard, pulled and tried to lead through the hole for Hastings. But I tell you what, the Ranger defense, they might have made some sort of adjustment coming off the last series, because those same plays that were gashing them the last time, there's no room whatsoever for Hastings to run through. Nice adjustment by the defensive coaches and defensive players.
One of the really neat things about athletics is when the coaches tell players something and they go do it correctly.
Yeah.
That's really neat.
Well, coming from a coach?
Yeah. It's fun when your players do respond.
Boy.
So Zeno with an empty backfield, 3 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. They all look to the sideline, and he's ready on 3rd and 9. Straight drop back, short drop, throws a little receiver screen. That looks to be, I think it's Perez out on the left side. Doesn't get much. Gets about 4 yards to the 39-yard line, and the Rangers call another timeout because it'll be 4th down.
Yeah, little slip screen to the wide receiver Perez. And sometimes, I tell you what, you get a wide receiver who's that fast like Perez is, give him a little crease. He can pick up a lot of yardage, but the defense reacted really quickly, and the flow of everyone pursuing to the ball caught up to the receiver quicker before Perez was able to get up the field. No gain, 4th down and 5. We're ready for another offensive series for the Rangers.
You made a point before we got on the air.
What's that?
Jay has nothing to lose. They're playing. This is not a pressure game for them because nobody expects them to win.
Right.
It's 4th and 6 from midfield. Do you fake a punt here? Down by 27 points? I mean, seriously, what do you got to lose at this point? I mean, you either give them 80 yards, 70 yards to go down the field, or you give them 50 yards to go down the field. I don't know. There's never a good time to fake a punt when you're down.
I understand. I think at this point, though, it would be nice to go into halftime and tell your kids, the players, hey, at least we have a little bit of momentum. We kind of know something that we can do successfully against the Rangers.
The punt is not a good one. It angles toward the sideline and goes out of bounds somewhere inside the 50. About the 45 is where they'll mark it.
Yep.
Not a good punt again. And the Rangers will start 1st and 10 from their own 45 with exactly 2 minutes to go in the first half. The Rangers out of timeouts. The Mustangs still have 2 left, not like they'd call one here. The Rangers going into this wind of between 15 and 20 miles an hour, probably closer to 20 than anything else. Two receivers go to the left, along with the tight end Hunter, 1 receiver to the right. The lone setback is Greg Eggleston. He gets a reverse sweep and a reverse to Woodard. He's all alone on this side of the field. Now the defense finally catches up to him, but not before he gets out of bounds at the 30-yard line. They gave it to Eggleston, and really kind of curious because we haven't seen him at running back all night, but he gets it, and he goes left with the sweep. Woodard comes from the right side with a reverse, and Trevon takes it inside Jay territory to the 30-yard line, where it is 1st and 10 with 1:50 to go. Clock stopped as he goes out of bounds.
Well, I was just about to comment who's going to be manned up with number 44 Woodard on that last play, because number 7 Malik Ross was one-on-one with Woodard, and I thought for sure they were going to try to get him the ball.
And we hear whistles.
Play clock didn't run. Something to do with the play clock, Tony.
Yes, indeed. Our referee tonight is signaling up to, the game clock was running. That's what it was. It shouldn't have been running because the clock was stopped. Okay. Now I understand. Play clock starts on the whistle, or on the snap, not on the whistle. Game clock 1:50. 2 receivers to either side now for the Rangers. Williams wants to throw, has a man left to the corner. It's Pierce, makes a catch, avoids one defender, wrestles the other into the end zone. Another touchdown for the Rangers. as this one's getting a little bit ugly here in the first half. 36-3 with that scoring strike.
Yeah.
Williams to Pierce. Well, by the way, Pierce is starting to total up some numbers as well. His 5th touchdown reception of the season on his 24th reception. And the Rangers lead at 36-3, the extra point to come into the win.
Yeah, that makes Pierce 9 total touchdowns so far this year. And you know, that play reminded me of the winning touchdown against Hendrickson the first game of the season, except it was Ricky Rios catching that ball in the corner.
Yes, it was. Reed's extra point is good. 37-3, a minute 41 to go in the first half. The Rangers lead this one and really turning into somewhat of a rout. We're back after this timeout on the Rangers Network.
Here we go. Tie ball game with just 2 seconds left on the clock, and the Rangers are looking to score. Here's a snap. Bayless, who is wide open down the near sideline. And he makes a catch at the 10, the 5, touchdown. My goodness, what a play, and the Rangers win.
The Rangers will kick off again, as it seems like they've been doing all night. Mason Reed continues his effort. Some updated scores in the first half as this one 37-3, Rangers on top. Westlake leads MacArthur 21-14. The Rangers, if they win, get the winner of that game. Other teams from the district steal up on Brennan 21-3. Warren Judson, I should say, leading Warren 34-7, as we'd expect. Judson, one of the best teams in the state. And Clemens is losing at O'Connor, but I think that's expected too. O'Connor, the favorite in that one. It's 17-3, Clemens trailing. Into the win, Mason Reed's kick fielded at the 17-yard line by number 17, Garcia. He angles to the right before he's brought down by a whole host of defenders, Jacob Zuber among them. Also down at the bottom of that pile was Jacob Mingle, a senior backup cornerback on special teams with the tackle. They spot him down at the 23, and with 1:32 to go and a couple of timeouts, the Mustangs will have the ball again.
Well, if you're head coach Gary Gutierrez, what do you do in this situation with 1:32 left? Do you just try to establish something or try to get this half over with as quickly as possible?
A couple of incomplete passes, and you got to punt again, and
exactly.
what will that happen?
That's
a
what I'm
handoff.
thinking.
Now, actually, it's Zeno that keeps it himself on a fake of a handoff. He's got some room, breaks a couple of tackles, spins away from another tackle, and gets out near midfield at the 48, so a first down for the J Mustangs. That took all of about 8 seconds. The clock will start again, but they get back to the line in a hurry. Now running at 1:20 and going down. 3 receivers right, 1 to the left.
That last play was a quarterback draw designed for Zeno, and I tell you what, he did a nice job of picking where he could pick up the yardage and did a nice job of that.
He keeps it again after the fake handoff to Hastings. This time he doesn't get much. It's 2nd and 8 as they stop the clock with one of their timeouts at midfield. A minute exactly to go in the first half. 37-3 Rangers. Again, repeating those scores because we were in kind of a hurry telling you. The last one, O'Connor, hosting Clemens tonight, leads 17-3 in the first half. Judson at home leads Warren 34-7 in the first half. Steele playing Brennan leads 21-3. That one's at near the first half. And again, the Rangers will play the winner of Westlake and MacArthur. And that one just before the half is 21-14 Westlake over MacArthur. Westlake, perennial of football power in the state of Texas, hasn't been in those circles in recent years, but obviously they're pretty good this year.
There's a lot of talent in that west side of Austin, I'm telling you.
Former Longhorns.
Exactly.
Zeno with 3 receivers right, 1 to the left, hands it to Hastings. He squirts through the line, spins away from a defender, and almost tackle by Zoig, but he squirts ahead to the 45 where he's down 3rd and 3. Mustangs hurrying back to the line of scrimmage. Game clock now nears 40 seconds to go. Zeno wants to throw, has a man in the flat, throws it over the middle. Oh, short-armed. That one really Alcaraz thought he was going to get hit and pulled his arms down in a hurry. The ball sailed past him. I'm not sure he's going to catch it anyway, and he didn't get hit as it was.
Well, again, it wasn't a very good pass by Zeno because Keeler was in his face again. Keeler's just coming off the edge, Tony, and no one's really challenging him, and so he gets a clean shot at the quarterback. That time Zeno, again, couldn't get into his pass. It was a bad pass. It just looks bad all over.
And it's not like Keeler's done that a lot, and there's a fumble. The handoff to Hastings, kind of a draw-type handoff. It goes on the ground, and the clock is stopped again with 32 seconds to go. That
was fourth down.
That was fourth down, and they went for it and failed miserably. Let's talk about Keeler again. He hasn't bothered many quarterbacks this year. 10 sacks, 17 quarterback hurries. Now, I've done football stats for a lot of years. I don't know that I've ever seen somebody with 17 quarterback hurries.
You know?
And he's got them.
If you don't get a sack, you can almost lump them two together. If you hurry the quarterback, you're going to disrupt the play just like that last one.
Yeah.
It's incomplete. It's like a sack, except that you just don't get the negative yardage added to it.
32 seconds to go. Rangers with the ball right at midfield. No timeout, so we'll see what they try. Williams is going to throw. A little bit of pressure up the middle. He avoids it, then throws. That's Gilliam, who catches it just beyond, or did he not catch it? Did it hit the ground? It must have hit the ground. Must have hit the ground. Jeremiah Gilliam, the junior receiver, 6 foot 145, went kind of dove for it, and I thought he grabbed it as he rolled over, but apparently he did not. So it's second down and 10 with 25 seconds to go.
You know, Williams didn't look like he was real fluid on that play either. I don't know if his hips maybe a little sore from last week. I don't know, but didn't look like he really had the execution of that pass wasn't very clean.
Almost sacked this time. He throws it late. It is Hunter who dropped it. Had it in his hands and he let it go. Incomplete pass is third down. I say take a knee and let's go to the locker room at 37-3. And we might not see Levi Williams a whole bunch in the second half.
No.
Some JV players continue to be brought up by the Rangers. One of them is a sophomore quarterback named Luke Gombert, 6'1", 165. The sophomore QB may see some action tonight. Colton Eilers, a junior quarterback, is the backup listed on the depth chart. But Williams will go into formation again with 19 seconds to go after the incomplete pass. It's 3rd and 10. Takes the handoff. Or takes the snap, fakes a handoff, now intended for Woodard, almost intercepted. Great break on the play as the ball kind of hung by Jasso, but it goes incomplete, and the Rangers face fourth down with 13 seconds to go. And
Williams was lucky that wasn't intercepted because Jasso was just sitting back there like a center fielder waiting for that slant to Woodard. And I'll tell you what, he broke on it. He didn't catch it, but it should have been intercepted.
Well, now I guess there was a flag. It must have been holding. It's a 10-yard walk-off. So it's third down again. Now third down and 20 from their own 40-yard line. The Rangers with 13 seconds to go. I'm guessing a running play will run out the clock and end the half.
Coach Hill still has his headset on, so I think he's still into the game.
Well, I don't doubt that he is. I'm just thinking let's not give them any kind of a chance here. Williams wants to throw out to the flat. Cervantes makes a catch, so a positive gain on third down. It'll bring up fourth down, but I believe the clock will run out as they spot him at the 48. The game clock runs out, and it's halftime. The Rangers lead this one in a one-sided affair so far, 37-3 over the J Mustangs. The Rangers putting together an impressive offensive first half and just as impressive defensive first half as they've shut down one of the more prolific running backs in the city of San Antonio, and an offensive unit that has been on fire lately. They scored 58 points a week ago. They've got 3 in the first half now. The Rangers 37-3. We're back after this timeout on the Rangers Network.
Hello, I'm Steve from GVTC, here to install your 1 gig per second internet service.
Hey, you're Ranger Senior Trayvon Merrick Woodard.
No, sir, I'm Steve with GVTC.
Come on. Cornerback, kick punt return, wide receiver.
I'll be over here. I'll let you know if I need anything.
Just came in to set up your Wi-Fi. Thanks, Steve.
Have you brushed your teeth? Yeah! Did you brush your teeth? Yeah. Have you brushed your teeth? Yeah!
Moms, we've got you covered. Bring your kids to Summerhill Dental no matter how often they say they brush their teeth.
So this is it, huh?
Yep, this is where it all starts and finishes.
Joe Pavelek, Jeff Shin, Alan Hill, Pat Bailey, Matt Hilson, Clint Haney, Cody Fuller, Eric Anders, Garrett Smith, Andrew Sandejo, Josh Adkins could have dressed in this locker.
We got work to do, kid.
We're gonna go inside, we're gonna go outside, we're gonna get him on the run, we're gonna keep him on the run, then we're gonna go, 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 go. We won't stop until we're across that goal line. This is a team they say is good. Well, I think we're better than them. So what do you say, men?
Let me give it a try. Making videos is not easy. It's confusing and it's hard work. Well, I'm here to tell you, when your back's against the wall, call Wick Productions. It's who we use for Game Night Scoreboard production and the Rangers Network.
Amazing, Coach. Another perfectly executed shameless plug.
We're back to Ranger Stadium as the Rangers lead Jay Mustangs 37-3. Interesting stats. It's funny that it's 37-3 and there's 10 first downs for the Rangers and 8 for the Mustangs. Third down efficiency, they're 3 of 10. The Rangers are 1 of 3. But rushing average, the most prolific rushing attack in the city of San Antonio, 27 carries for 94 yards, 3.5 yards a carry for Hastings and that offense. The Rangers, who've not been known as a running team this year, have 105 yards rushing, 8.8 per carry. Passing wise, the Rangers 6 of 11 for 185 yards, 4 of 12 for the Mustangs for 43 yards. Total offense now, 290 yards for the Rangers, 137 for the Mustangs. Individually, let's talk about running backs right now. Jacob Zeno, well, let's talk about Jalen Hastings, 19 carries, 61 yards. Zeno with 37, but most of those in that last drive. The Rangers led by by Mark Franco, 7 carries, 44 yards, and he didn't even play much of the second quarter. Pierce with 2 carries for 34, Woodard with 1 carry for 25. Again, Levi Williams, 6 of 11, not throwing a lot, but 185 yards and 3 touchdowns. Franco has the only other 2 touchdowns on rushes, short rushes. For, again, Jacob Zeno, 4 of 12, not real proficient, total of 43 yards. His leading receiver by catches is Alcaraz, 4 catches for no gain. Choate with, he's been targeted 4 times but doesn't have any catches, yes. It's Choate, 2 catches, 24 yards, and Amaquita with 1 catch for 15 yards. Nothing really too interesting there. No. Otherwise, the leading receiver, Woodard, with 2 catches for 103 yards, including the 80-yard touchdown. Pierce, 1 catch, 30 yards, and a touchdown. Hunter, 2 catches, 44 yards, a touchdown among those. So the Rangers really, in a 37-3 game, seem to dominate the stats as you would expect.
Yeah, 2 things to look at when you're looking at the statistics from this perspective, because going into the football game, Tony, you look at You look at the John Jay Mustang offense, and they can put up points. And statistically, they're one of the best offenses statistically in the San Antonio area. Tonight, though, you have to give all the credit in the world, and the defensive scheme and schematic game plan going in, that you had to control Hastings, you had to make Zeno one-dimensional, and basically they've done that. They've put pressure on Zeno, they've disrupted his timing, and the defense has been swarming around Hastings. The only thing that they've been able to do on that one long drive that they got the 3 points, the field goal from, is that they established a little bit of that cutback, the backside running attack, and it was open for them on a few plays. But other than that, give all the credit in the world to the Ranger defense. They've done a great job on really one of the better offenses in the city.
Defense is what we've talked about all year as being the bell cow of this program, the defensive unit, including those important seniors that continue to play lights out in this their final year of high school, like Jacob Zuber and C.J. Keeler and Manoa Pau, Alex Flores, Zillman. Looking for some more seniors like Chubb and Johnson and Woodard and
Pierce.
Pierce is a junior.
Pierce is junior? Okay.
Yeah, we got him back another year. Then your junior linebacker Will Gibbons is also back, but an interesting look of that defense. It's been, in my opinion, the best defense I've seen in the last several years for these Rangers, even with some bigger names in out there.
Well, I was about to say, since we're talking about the Ranger defense, the only thing I don't think they haven't done the first half is create a turnover. And typically they do that. You know, the defense is very opportunistic, and the Ranger defense, they're smaller, but they're very fast and physical. And they usually create a couple turnovers, and so that's the only thing I guess you would say from having a perfect first half so far.
You told me, though, that the Mustangs are like plus 20 or something on that. That means their offense probably doesn't turn it over much either. So anyway, don't miss the UIL State Football Championships, December 20th through 23rd at AT&T Stadium in Arlington. Tickets are available to purchase now through Ticketmaster. For more information, visit UILTexas.org. The Rangers lead this one 37-3 at the half. In the background, you hear the John Jay Band. We're going to take a timeout here on the Rangers Network and pay some bills and show you some features, as we've got all kinds of them, including another spot with Miss Emily. So stay with us on the Rangers Network. We're back after these timeouts.
Hello, I'm Steve from GVTC, here to install your 1 gig per second internet service.
Hey, you're Ranger Senior Trayvon Merrick Woodard.
No, sir, I'm Steve with GVTC.
Come on. Cornerback, kick punt return, wide receiver.
I'll be over here. I'll let you know if I need anything.
Just came in to set up your Wi-Fi. Thanks, Steve.
So I'm here with some of my Ranger football players today, and we decided we would do a little something special for moms. So boys, grab your paintbrushes, your glue sticks, and let's get going. When's the last time you did your mama handprint art?
Oh, like kindergarten or something?
Kindergarten. So see, she can see how much you've grown. Look how fun. All right, ready? Spread your fingers out.
Is that good?
Yeah, ready?
I made this handprint for my mom because it's the least I can do for everything that she does for me. I love you, Mom. You deserve it. This is really important for me to make for my mom because she's my #1 fan and she has always been there for me, so I love her to death.
I've been working really hard on this today because I know and hopefully my mom will wear this to every game. And whenever I look up in the stands, I'll see her wearing this.
All right, I made my mom an apron, and one thing I like to do a lot is eat, and hopefully she uses this whenever she cooks for me.
I made my mom this football handprint, and it says, "My mom's my number one," because she drives me everywhere I go, takes me to all my practices, and she cooks me so much food.
I made my mom an apron because she's my #1 fan, and I put these fake diamonds because I don't have money to buy real diamonds, so got fake diamonds on here, so hopefully she'll wear it when she cooks because I eat well.
I made my mom this handprint so she can add to her collection of art that I have made to her throughout the years because she supports me through everything I've ever done. I love you, Mom.
Aww. Mom, I love you.
Back to Ranger Stadium where the Rangers lead it 37-3 at the half. The Ranger marching band's on the field and we'll take it to them now.
Taking center stage, the Smithson Valley Color Guard, under the direction of Dan Whitfield. 2017 Color Guard officers are co-captains Megan Butler, Carly Douglas, and Trinity Pocket. Please welcome the Smithson Valley Color Guard as they perform a feature routine to No.
Moms, we've got you covered. Bring your kids to Summerhill Dental no matter how often they say they brush their teeth.
We are the UIL.
From the coaches
To the players. To the educators.
we've been in your shoes.
Extracurricular activities are essential to the development of our youth.
From proposed rule changes
to the relaxation of transfer rules.
We keep it fair.
New academic contests. We hear you loud and clear.
New events are music to our ears.
We just added film. That's a wrap.
Educational activities help young people become productive citizens.
From staph infections to steroid use.
To cardiac and concussions.
Health and safety is a priority.
Heat, heart, and health history.
From heat-related illness to head injuries to heart-related issues to the medical history of students.
Your well-being is our priority because we are the UIL.
We are the UIL.
We are the UIL.
We are the UIL.
My passion is working with high school seniors. I really love being able to make them feel comfortable in front of the camera and express their personality so that their parents and themselves can have some beautiful images, keepsakes that really commemorate this milestone in their lives.
Oh, that's working good. All right, CJ.
I put together a consultation prior to the session with the parent and the senior so we can really talk about their personality, their likes, some of their activities that they are involved in at school so that we can really kind of bring out that confidence and that comfortableness in front of the camera that can really express who that senior really is.
So Jennifer, thank you for being here with me today. Can you tell me a little bit about what it is you do?
Well, I'm a portrait artist located here in the New Braunfels, Smithson Valley area, and I specialize in creating home decor for your house that has your images in it.
I'm pretty good at my iPhone and taking some really neat pictures, but I've been looking at these shots you have and they look like they're straight out of a magazine. How'd you learn how to do this?
Well, I actually went to school and got a degree in photography and have continued my education throughout the years, really wanting to hone in on how to make people look their absolute best in front of the camera. I also have a professional camera and lenses that I use that you don't necessarily have on your iPhone to really make things look incredible. I also take lighting sometimes on set and also reflectors so that I can really manipulate the light to really get that effect that I'm looking for.
So I heard in 2016 there was kind of a big deal. You were featured in a magazine. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yes, Senior Style Guide is a national competition and they have a magazine that comes out every year and I was one of their Hot 100 photographers. I got featured in there with one of my images. It was really an amazing honor to have.
So with so many amazing portraits that you've taken, how do parents just narrow it down to that one special picture to send out on graduation invitations?
Well, because my graduation invitations are two-sided, we can put a couple of different images on there, but one of the things that I have recently incorporated into my work is doing living portraits where we are incorporating films or videos of my clients during the session where they can actually scan the image on the card with an app on their phone and then they can actually watch the film right there.
Oh wow, so
Yeah.
grandma and grandpa that live out of state can really see their whole session.
They can not only see the session with the still images, we incorporate video where that's actually them laughing and just really showing their expression and personality throughout the living or the video moments.
I didn't even know that was possible. That's pretty amazing.
It's a pretty new technology and I'm super excited to get to do it for my clients here.
So I know portraits can be a bit of an investment. What do you do to help make this affordable?
Well, you know, I really want everyone to be able to get every image that they absolutely love from the portrait sessions that I create for them. So I have come up with a plan to do a payment option if anyone so chooses to take advantage of that, because I do really think that it's something that only comes around once in a lifetime, especially as a senior, and you're never going to look probably any better than you do when you're a high school senior. And I just want people to be able to cherish those memories of their children. I truly believe what I do is a wonderful service for my clients, that they're able to hand these images down, the albums and tangible products that they can show their children, their children's children, and it really becomes a piece of history that they're able to keep for their family.
For more information on Jennifer Wilson, you can visit her website at www.silver-plate.com.
Make memories of a lifetime this Thanksgiving weekend at Bernie's 18th Annual Dickens on Main celebration, Friday and Saturday, November 24th and 25th. Stroll Main Street Snowy Wonderland as you enjoy live ice sculpting, a 60-foot snow slide, photos with Santa, and of course holiday shopping along Bernie's Hill Country Mile. Dickens on Main features fun children's activities, live performances like Bah Humbug, a one-man Christmas carol, horse-drawn carriages, food merchants, and amazing concerts each night. And admission is free. Visit dickensonmain.com for all the details.
So this is it, huh?
Yep, this is where it all starts and finishes.
Joe Pavelek, Jeff Shin, Alan Hill, Pat Bailey, Matt Hilson, Clint Haney, Cody Fuller, Eric Anders, Garrett Smith, Andrew Sandejo, Josh Adkins could have dressed in the soccer.
We got work to do, kid.
We're gonna go inside, we're gonna go outside, we're gonna get him on the run, we're gonna keep him on the run, then we're gonna go, 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 go. We won't stop until we're across that goal line. This is a team they say is good. Well, I think we're better than them. So what do you say, men?
Let me give it a try. Making videos is not easy. It's confusing and it's hard work. Well, I'm here to tell you, when your back's against the wall, call Wick Productions. It's who we use for Game Night Scoreboard production and the Rangers Network.
Amazing, Coach. Another perfectly executed shameless plug.
We're back to Rangers Stadium, where the Rangers lead at 37-3 here at the half over the Jay Mustangs. First round playoff action, as the Rangers were the District 27 6A champion. They opened the scoring. 8:33 on the clock. A 6-yard touchdown run by Mark Franco. The extra point was no good. Mason Reed then hit a field goal from 40 yards at 6:32, so the next possession put him up 9-0. Then we gave it to Mark Franco again later in the first quarter. His run from 2 yards out with the extra point made it 16-0. Then we opened the second quarter, and let me just tell you again, the scoring came at 8 minutes, at 6.5 minutes, 8.5 minutes, 6.5 minutes, 2.5 minutes, then 11.5 minutes in the second quarter. Levi Williams completed a touchdown pass of 80 yards to Trayvon Morrig-Woodard. The extra point made it 23-0. Then the Jay Mustang with Jamie Chino made a field goal from 21 yards, 23-3. The Williams pass to Hunter from 28 yards out made it 29-30 with the extra point to 3. And then Williams completed his third touchdown pass of the night to Pierce from 30 yards out to make it 37-3. That one came at 1:41. The pass to Hunter was at 2:56. So after the Mustangs make that field goal with 3:41 to go in the half, it's 23-3. Maybe they're thinking, hey, we're down 20 at halftime. And then the Rangers scored 2 more touchdowns. So
yeah,
it got out of hand in a quick
really
bit.
You know, the Smithson Valley Rangers did a nice job of taking advantage of the wind. I think the wind had more to do with the field position and the ability to execute plays and really call the kind of plays that you wanted to, especially with somebody like the Mustangs, that the type of style of offense that they want to do. They've got that RPO. They want to run the football with Hastings, but Zeno also wants to be able to throw downfield. He hasn't been able to really do that so far the first half. So when you get behind and you've got terrible field position because of the wind and because of special teams putting you back in your wall, you know, you're back against the wall, it's very difficult to get in some sort of rhythm. That didn't happen until they had some decent field position in the second quarter, Tony. And they did put together a nice little drive. They just couldn't capitalize and getting pay dirt for 7 points.
All right, we're about ready to start the second half. We'll be back with the second half kickoff after this timeout, and my voice quits changing. By the way, Mason Pierce is a senior. My notes were bad, so I take the blame for that one. The Rangers lead at 37-3.
Hello, I'm Steve from GVTC, here to install your 1 gig per second internet service.
Hey, you're Ranger Senior Trayvon Merrick Woodard.
No, sir, I'm Steve with GVTC.
Come on. Cornerback, kick punt return, wide receiver.
I'll be over here. I'll let you know if I need anything. Just came in to set up your Wi-Fi.
Thanks, Steve.
So the Rangers will be receiving the second half kickoff. Up 37-3. Jeff is quickly assembling all of his blowout notes together so we have something to talk about in a second. Just kidding, folks. I'm just kidding. He's so excited that I said Mason Pierce was a junior and he's really a senior, and Jeff was right, so I have to give him credit because that is the first time we've been different and he's been right. So I'm really excited for him. Let me give you 5.
You sound real excited. I tell you, these little wins mean a lot to me, Tony, okay? That's all I have to say.
Just know
I get corrected a lot in other places at work and everything, so it's nice to be right on something now and then.
It is.
Yes.
It is.
Yes.
There's no doubt everyone wants to be right. But not everyone can be. The Rangers lead at 37-3. We've got 24 minutes left of football. And really, I think the only question is, can the J Mustangs mount another drive to put a touchdown together, because they've been next to impossible of moving the ball tonight. Chino's kick, onside kick, fielded at the 48-yard line by a Ranger. Looks like, no doubt that is Jacob Zuber, the man who's in on every defensive play of the season, is there in the front line to field.
That's right.
The onside kick.
Well, it didn't exactly surprise me, actually. I was kind of thinking in my mind, they may onside kick this, because right now they need to do something to get their offense and get some sort of, momentum back into this football game on their side.
Just
and,
in order
and
to
to
be
your point, they have nothing to lose.
In order to be right more often, you need to verbalize that ahead of time, and then saying it now really doesn't.
Wow. Wow.
At quarterback is Corey Eilers. He hands it off up the middle for a couple of yards. Franco gets to the 48-yard line of the Mustangs. A gain of 3 makes it 2nd and 7. Their defensive line stout that time. Didn't really let Franco have much room.
52
Aaron Aldretti, was there, the senior, 6'2", 295, the biggest player on their roster, came up with a tackle. So it's 2nd and 7. Again, Corey Eilers, the backup quarterback, 11 of 14 on the season for 139 yards. This time he hands it off to Franco right up the middle. He's got lots of room. He's running across the 40 to the 35, inside the 35 to about the 32. Another Ranger first down before he's brought down, and the Rangers moving the ball again.
Well, that play was set up by the formation. You spread everybody out, double slots, and just Franco's the only one behind Eiler. And he just hands it right up the middle, and those big guys, the offensive linemen, again, doing a nice job getting to their man and staying with him and drive blocking him back.
They'll fake the handoff. Eilers will scramble after being unsuccessful to find an open receiver. He'll get a couple of yards to the 30. It'll be 2nd and 8. Knocked down on the play by Carlos Chavez, one of the defensive ends for the Mustangs. Eilers in a hurry. The offense back to the line of scrimmage. 2 receivers either way. Now they'll hesitate after a snap count to look to the sideline, and there's some changes made as Eilers barks out something to the offensive line. Now the snap, handoff. This is Franco again, not really going anywhere. Even a late safety coming in to put a lick on him.
That time the J Mustang defense looked like they were pressing and coming up and man, and then right before the snap of the ball, they bailed out, and they were actually going to play zone. So the coaches saw that from the sideline and signaled a different play in. It was that quick trap. When you're back in zone, everyone's softer. You run it right up the middle again with Franco.
So 3rd and 8 after no gain. Eilers fakes the handoff to his running back, then gives it out to Hunter in the flat. Tries to avoid the first tackler, but can't. So a short gain of about 4 or 5 yards to the 26. He's brought down by Ross, among others. And the Rangers face a 4th down and about 4 from the 26. The offense will stay on the field. Again, the Rangers moving into this stout wind of now over 20 miles an hour, I'd guess, from the look at the flags.
At least 20 miles per hour. That time was a bootleg, and you know Eiler did a nice job in the execution of it. But you got to give credit to the defense. They did a nice job coming up and making a tackle for no gain.
Eilers takes the handoff, throws a pass, and on a knee was the catch by Pierce. So that'll be a turnover on downs. Actually, about a loss of a down, or a loss of a yard to the 27. So the completion is made for a loss of a yard. Now the Rangers move back to the defensive side of the ball, and here comes the J offense.
Well, if you're Coach Gutierrez, you probably feel pretty good about that. Your defense holds the Rangers from getting in the end zone. Now your offense is back on the field, decent field position to start the second half.
We didn't see Woodard on offense during that series. He's back there on defense now. A pass out to Choate. The Rangers missed the initial tackle, so he'll scramble ahead to about the 34-yard line. A gain of almost 7 makes it 2nd and 3.
Same play that they ran the first half, Tony, where Hastings actually is a decoy as a swing man, and it opens up the lane then for Zeno to find Choate wide open in a little curl route, good for 6 yards.
So since early on, the Mustangs going mostly with 2 receivers split and a full house backfield. Here's Hastings brought down. Zuber got in there early, I should say. Jacob Johnson, one of the safeties. Pardon me, that's Alex Flores.
That's Flores, yeah.
The defensive end was down at the bottom of the pile. No gain. It's 3rd and 3 from the 34-yard line.
Yeah.
A lot of penetration by the defensive line tonight, really making plays. Rangers wanted to blitz off the edge with 2 linebackers, but Zeno checks to the sideline for the play call.
Yeah, they called it off now.
Here's motion. They fake a handoff. A little looked like it was going to be an option play. Zeno reaches for a first down. It depends where the spot is. And they seem to give him a very favorable spot for a first down.
Yeah, I thought Jacob Johnson did a very nice job coming up from this free safety position to catch Zeno early, before the sticks. But I think you're right. They gave him a very favorable spot for a first down.
So the Mustangs get a first down on their first possession of the second half. 7:32 on a running third quarter clock. 37-3, the Rangers lead. Mustangs again look to the sideline with 3 receivers broke to the left, 1 to the right. Hastings, the lone setback. The junior tailback takes it, bounces out, now gets into the open through middle of the field. It's a foot race now. A couple of Rangers are there. He gets caught from behind by one of the safeties, actually a cornerback, Mason Pierce, who brings him down at the 35-yard line on the most explosive run of the night by Jalen Hastings, the running back who ran for over 1,840 yards this season. That time breaks a good one.
Well, that time we saw the athleticism of Hastings, something that we've been waiting to see all night long, and that time he had just enough crease. And we saw him in the secondary in the back end, and we saw his kind of speed he has too. He runs a 4.5 40, and I saw that speed that last play.
So the Mustangs on the move at the Ranger 35. 1st and 10, Zeno. wants to throw. Across the middle, has a man who short-armed it again. Alcaraz, again the receiver who was intended, going to take a shot from Chubb, it looked like, and he kind of pulled his hands back before he could reach out and catch it. It's incomplete.
Zeno's got a, I don't know, his throwing arm, he's got a quick hitch and a quick release. It doesn't follow through really well, and sometimes his passes look just a little bit off, where if he was able to plant his feet and get his weight justified and then follow through with it, looks like he'd be able to throw the ball in there a little bit quicker.
Zeno, a delay handoff, a draw. Hastings, nowhere to go. Brought down right at the line of scrimmage. Witcher right there at the legs. Well, the Rangers got a piece of him too, but no gain, makes it 3rd and 10.
Tough call here, 3rd and long. When your offense hasn't had a whole lot of success tonight, this is a tough call right here.
Zeno with 3 receivers to his right, 1 to his left. Wants to throw and first a whistle.
Timeout.
The Jay coaches want to talk about it. Halfway through the 3rd quarter, the Rangers lead at 37-3. We're back after this timeout on the Rangers Network.
Snoring, sleep apnea, teeth grinding, daytime tiredness. It's time to solve the problem. Dr. Matt Bayless and Summerhill Dental are right here in the Spring Branch Bulverde community and can help you stop snoring without the use of loud, uncomfortable machines. Summerhill Dental is your partner in getting a better night's sleep tonight. Our appliances are a proven solution to stop snoring and sleep apnea. No CPAP, no surgery. Log on to summerhilldental.com or call Dr. Bayless today.
The Rangers lead at 37-3, 6:11 to go in the 3rd quarter. The defensive unit out there trying to put an end to what has been a couple of first downs in a drive by the Mustangs. And they'll bring the offensive unit back out on 3rd and 10 after a timeout by head coach Gary Gutierrez and his staff, trying to figure out what to do on 3rd and 10. Zeno wants to throw, now has to scramble. Stiff arms the defender, now is on the run, throws on the run, has a man open. Woodard recovers and knocks it down. Looks like Perez, the intended receiver, had a chance, but Woodard recovered quickly and knocked it away. It's incomplete, and it's 4th down.
Yeah. Zeno did all he could to try to get enough energy underneath that ball, because actually Woodard was beat on the play, but he underthrew him and was able to come back and knock the ball down before Perez was able to get the football. So it's 4th down and long. I mean, you have nothing to lose. What do you run in a situation like this on the 35-yard line? I mean, it's a hard call.
All the success they've had throwing, 5 of 15.
Yeah.
Zeno wants to throw across the middle, has a man, a great catch after the hit right there as well. Looks like that's Alcaraz, their leading receiver, who catches it inside the 25 at the 22. Good coverage on the play by Chubb, but it's a first down.
Well, there you go. That's the first time I've been wrong tonight, huh? We're even.
3 receivers go to the right, 2 to the left. The Mustangs on the move inside Ranger territory at the 22nd. 5.5 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. The Rangers up 37-3, pardon me.
There they come.
Blitz coming. Zeno wants to throw, has to scramble. The 2 rushers basically cancel each other, but now a 3rd one. I believe that's Zuber who chases him down for another loss, another tackle for loss by Jacob Zuber.
Yeah, that play had some potential from the beginning, but when the defensive outside linebackers both came up for the Rangers and were getting off the edge, it really blew the whole play up. And so Zeno had all he could do is just to try to scramble and make something out of nothing.
So 2nd and about 15 as they mark him back, and now there's a face mask on the play, it looked like. That was the initial signal, but trying to see as they're talking to Larry Hill, so it'd have to be against the Mustangs.
You know, thinking of last week, Tony, you called the game, the Smithson Valley game. They had some penalties, costly penalties, that brought back touchdowns. It's interesting, the Rangers have had no penalties against them.
Kind of an unusual signal. Personal foul against the Mustangs. We'll take it back to the 38-yard line, so a loss of 15. Makes it 2nd down and sometime tomorrow before they can get a first down, I'd guess. This one's a long way to go. They need to get to the 12-yard line, so 30 31 yards.
Yeah, just about. Look for a screen pass here. You'd run a screen in this situation.
It's now 30 yards because they moved it to the 42. That'll throw off everybody now. Play clock or game clock stopped at 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Zeno takes the snap, hands it to Hastings, fakes the handoff to Hastings. Now finds Alcaraz on the move near the 20. He tripped up there. Johnson got him tripped up. Good enough to get back just past the line of scrimmage to the 19. It'll be second down, and about 7.
Well, good looking play to get most of that yardage back that time with Alcaraz being the number 1 receiver for Zeno at this point in the second half. Now it gets interesting when you're in the red zone, second and long. Your play calls get a little more interesting. We'll see something maybe different than we hadn't seen before right here.
They'll give it to Hastings going right, finds a seam up the middle, breaks a couple of tackles. Chubb is the touchdown saving tackle inside the 10 at the 7. So it'll be first and goal for the Mustangs from the 7-yard line.
When in doubt, give it to Hastings right up the middle. Seriously.
Rangers have been spectacular in slowing him down, but now he's starting to find a little bit of a rhythm. First and goal from the 7. They'll give it to Hastings. He's met in the backfield. That is Elliott, Patrick Elliott at 5'6", 210, the senior defensive tackle. Hit him right at the line of scrimmage and stopped him there for no gain. It's now second and goal from the 7.
And Gamez, the backup fullback, comes in the game. He's basically used as the lead blocker, so you can basically tell where the play is going to go, too.
So 2nd and 7. Zeno takes the snap, wants to roll out, kind of an option look. He's got a man beside him. He turns it up and scores. The J Mustangs get on the scoreboard with their first touchdown of the night with 3:19 to go in the third quarter. It makes the score 37-9, and the extra point still to come. Zeno that time, his 3rd touchdown rushing of the season. Not a prolific runner at 4 yards a carry and 137 yards total, but that time he looked really good carrying the option look out.
That's a good look for them because if he pitches it back to Hastings, he has the capability of scoring. So that option's a good looking play for them.
Little swinging gate action. They're going to go for 2. Zeno getting pressure. It's Zuber, and he goes incomplete with the throw because Zuber's on his back.
Yeah. I don't think that play had anything to.
You can go for 2 in so many different ways. The swinging gate is something that we were introduced to in the college game where I was about 40 years ago, and I think today I may have seen it in 40 years work once or twice correctly. He's going to roll right. He's got 7 of his teammates over here on the left. He's got a receiver, a center, and him on the right, so maybe 8 guys over to the left, and he rolls to the right. And there's defenders over the center on either side of the center, so 2 guys are going to come unblocked. Where do you see success happening there?
Either that or basically they've seen that play before and they were prepared for it. And that's where I think what happened. That's why Zuber was over there and no one was blocking him, Tony.
Well, but all you have is a center in front of the quarterback. I know. He can't block anybody.
No.
He's snapping the ball.
Exactly.
Exactly. It's a fun football game. 37-9. The Mustangs try for 2 is unsuccessful. Major-like. Chino will come out and kick off for the 3rd time tonight.
Let's see if he onsides it again, huh?
If he does, I'll be surprised.
Use the wind at your advantage and kick it down past the end zone. Make Smithson Valley go the whole field.
Well, don't kick it to Woodard. Now he kick out short onside kick the other way, and this time it's Gibbons standing there waiting for it. Will Gibbons. Rangers offense is now going to be on the Mustangs side of the field again.
Yeah. Chavez didn't get that big hop, and that's what you're looking for when you onside kick it. You kick it so hard, down into the turf so that it takes that big hop, and it never took that big hop the last 2 onside kicks, and it was easy for one of the Rangers to recover it.
My guess is how many times has he practiced that to be proficient at it? I don't know. Ranger offense is out there. It looks like Colton Eilers is out there again at quarterback. Jet sweep. Ooh. Whoa. That's Chris Rivera. who's been very proficient at the jet sweep this season, but he was not on that one.
Isaiah Tuck kind of met him in the backfield, didn't he? Nice play by the outside linebacker. He's scraping through, saw the potential for the jet sweep. The Rangers run that a lot. They probably were prepared for that play.
The Mustang fans finally have something to cheer about. They just scored a touchdown and then got a tackle for loss of 5 yards. So it's 2nd down and 15 for Colton Eilers and the Ranger offense. Little delay handoff. It's Franco again. We haven't seen Nick Aiken tonight. Franco doing all the running except for one, I think, by Eggleston on the reverse.
Nice little draw play to Franco. That's a nice way to pick up some of that loss of yardage from the previous play. And Franco, again, doesn't go down easy. He's small, but he plays very large. And it takes usually 2 or 3 defenders to get him down. That time it took about 4, and he made it, he made 4 yards out of it.
Oh, he made about 9 yards.
Well, 9 yards.
Yes.
Excuse me, past the original line of scrimmage. Yeah.
3rd and 6 from the 44. Eilers wants to throw, has a man outside. It's the sophomore, Draylen Radbaugh, and it's incomplete, so it brings up 4th down, and here comes the punting unit.
Radbaugh's a sophomore, getting maybe his first looks in a varsity game, and had a chance to catch the ball and in a critical position to pick up a 1st down, and just couldn't haul it in.
Sophomore with 1 catch this season, a little bit earlier, but hasn't been targeted a whole lot, but has played some snaps in the last several weeks. Brance Anderson in to punt, his average up to 33.7. This one into the wind. Nice spiral, knocked down quick.
Wow.
Got a good bounce. Boy, I'm telling you what.
There's some wind out there.
If wind's not blowing, that one goes to the end zone. He put a nice toe on it, but officially, I think they're going to mark it back at the 24, so he'll get a credit for a 20-yard punt, no return. And the Mustangs start 1st and 10 from their own 26. 1:47 to go in the 3rd quarter. Yeah. The Rangers up big, 37-9.
You know, Tony, you were talking about the legacy, the history of the J Mustang football team. And let's go ahead and have this play. I'll make a comment here in a minute.
Zeno. Now several players go in motion. They got an offensive lineman out to the left. They're going to block on a wide receiver screen that goes incomplete. As actually it wasn't Zeno at quarterback.
No.
Zeno was split out at receiver, and they sent an offensive lineman out there with him.
Jackson Abert came in.
Yeah, it was Kevin Garcia was the left tackle who broke out to block for him, but they couldn't even throw the ball to get a completed pass. And not like the Rangers were fooled much, as a couple of defenders were out there waiting for the catch to happen.
Right.
It's incomplete. Actually.
Oh, they've knocked it back. It's incomplete. They didn't put it back. Yeah. No?
No, they're saying it was that a lateral that went out of bounds?
Must be.
Or was it a penalty? We don't know because our referee's very quick in his signals again. Here's Zeno trying to throw a little screen out to the side. The Rangers sniff it out.
Yeah, trying to get a choke out there in a quick hitch screen.
Another offensive lineman out in traffic. That one thrashed the junior right tackle. So they'll break the huddle with 3rd and about 16 from the 19-yard line. They need to get up to the 44 for a 1st down. Zeno to throw. Aims for Hastings out in the flat and overthrows him badly, and there's another flag in on the play. Flores was back among the quarterback.
I think they're going to charge Flores with roughing the passer.
Roughing the passer is the call.
Yeah.
First
automatic first down.
First down, yes. 15 yards and an automatic 1st down.
Well, the Mustangs catch a break on that. It was close. That was kind of a questionable call, but you know what? The referee's down there. We have to give him the benefit of doubt, and we also want to protect players, particularly those that in the quarterback position where they're very vulnerable. And you come in late like that, they're going to flag. They're going to throw a flag every time.
Not just vulnerable. They're the best player on the field generally, and you don't want them to go off the field. At least in the NFL,
Sometimes.
that's what they say.
Sometimes.
They make the most money for sure. 1st and 10 from the 34. That was 20-yard mark off.
That's one way of getting 20 yards.
First and 10. Zeno wants to throw, has some pressure in his face, lofts it up in the air. Chubb covering the receiver. It goes incomplete as it was overthrown. Alcaraz, the intended receiver. Incomplete again.
Well, Alex Flores and Zuber back in the backfield, putting pressure on Zeno. Again, Zeno's got a pretty good arm, but he couldn't get enough down there to make an accurate pass, and I think the pressure definitely caused that to be disrupted.
Again, 2 receivers either way as there's a minute 28 to go in what seems to be a very long third quarter because of all the stoppages on incomplete passes, among other things. 2 receivers either side. Zeno's going to hand it off to Hastings up the middle, breaks a tackle, spins away, fights for a couple of more yards, and he's still going as there's not been a whistle yet as he crosses the 40-yard line. Out near the 41, a gain of almost 7 brings up 3rd and 3.
Nice hard run that time by Hastings. Again, doing everything he can to get as much real estate. Every time he has the hands on the ball, he's trying to make something happen. You got to give the young man credit because he's fighting hard every time he gets the ball.
Really look at him, too. He's listed as a junior.
Yeah.
That is correct. I looked at the roster right that time. He's back for another year after an 1,800-yard run this season. That's pretty impressive for Jay Mustang. Their quarterback's a junior, too. Zeno pulls it out of his belly this time and throws a pass out to the left flat. Out blocking is Choate. Alcaraz was the intended receiver, but it's 10 yards down the field. He shouldn't be blocking.
No.
That seems to be a problem as he ran right up to Pierce and was blocking him as the pass went behind him, intended for Alcaraz, but over his head.
Well, they could have thrown a flag on it, but nevertheless, it's 4th down and 4. They're going to punt the football.
Malik Ross goes back into punt formation. Rangers put all 10 men at the line. Woodard the lone setback. Good snap this time. Ross gets it off quickly. With the wind at his back, he gives a good kick. It'll take a bounce, rolling toward the end zone, and into the end zone it goes. With 34 seconds to go in the third quarter, the Rangers will start 1st and 10 from their own 20, and we'll keep it here as total yards right now, 318 for the Rangers. They haven't had a lot in the second half go right offensively. 218 the Mustangs offense. Colton Eilers has 2 for 3 for a 3-yard gain in his moments here in the second half, as Levi Williams did not come out to start the second half. Again, banged up a week ago with a hip bruise, if you will.
Not bad statistics, though, for playing half the game. 6 out of 11, 185 yards and 3 touchdowns. Not bad. Not bad at all.
Colton Eilers, the backup quarterback, has played the third quarter, and with 34 seconds to go, he starts the Rangers out 1st and 10. Handoff. It is Franco again for not much, but he fights for a couple of yards. It'll be 2nd and 8 as he gets out to the 22. The defense, that one, Ryan Marino at the bottom of that pile on the stop.
And that's the third quarter.
And that will be the final play of the third quarter as the Rangers will go to the locker room. They'll go to the sideline and then come back out on the other end of the field at the end of the third quarter. It's 37-9. The Rangers lead this one. We head to the fourth quarter. It'll be a good one as the Rangers hold on and lead this one right now 37-9.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Comal Independent School District, HEB, GVTC, Wick Productions, Ferris Orthodontics, Summerhill Dental, Smoky Moe's Barbecue, and Pizza Hut.
Eilers and the Rangers come back. They'll be going right to left here in the fourth quarter with the wind at their back. Franco the lone setback with Eilers. 3 receivers broke to the left. The tight end is on the right side. They'll check the sideline for any play adjustments. Eilers goes to the line and barks out something. Now back, waits for the snap as play clock goes under 5. He'll throw a quick out to Rivera. Tries to break one tackle, gets to the sideline, runs into a defensive back who didn't like it a whole lot, and he'll get a gain of about, we'll call it 8 yards to the 28. It'll be 3rd down and 2, pardon me.
You know, sure, it looks like that's almost like your run-pass option, the way they look at that. I mean, you had the pulling guard coming in front, so it looks like a running play. And The beautiful thing about the RPO is that the safeties and linebackers have got to respect the run first. And so when they come up and then you hit that quick hit out to someone, to a player in the slot, it's really a good-looking play. It's like handing the ball off way out there on the edge.
Here's a running play to Franco. Good for a first down. Out past the 35 to the 40 before he's wrestled down and then gives the defender a shove. That's Diego Yasso, the junior safety, with the tackle. That one opened up initially by Franco like he might bust it wide before the safety came up for support.
It looked like Jesse was giving a little bit of smack there at the end of the play, and so Franco didn't like it too much. So a little shove was a little push in the back to say, "Hey man, you get out of my face."
Greg Eggleston now comes in to play tailback. Don't really know why Nick Aiken isn't playing tonight, but he hasn't played. Eilers wants to throw it out. Rivera can't hang on to it. A defender chasing down the play. Block was made to keep him off by Cervantes, but the pass goes through Rivera's hands and incomplete. It's 2nd and 10.
Well, the play call selection hasn't changed a whole lot from Smithson Valley's perspective. They're going to run their offense. They're not purposely trying to just run the clock out. They're going to try to execute their game plan. You have to admire that from Coach Hill and his coaching staff, and what the message that sends to the kids too.
Eilers again looks to the sideline. 10:51 on a stopped clock with the incomplete pass. Tight end right, 2 receivers right, 2 backs in the backfield with the quarterback.
Timeout. And
there's a timeout called by Smithson Valley. So we'll take a timeout with him. We're early in the 4th quarter. The Rangers lead it 37-9. We're back after this timeout on the Rangers Network.
Hello, I'm Steve from GBTC, here to install your 1 gig per second internet service.
Hey, you're Ranger Senior Trayvon Merrick Woodard.
No, sir, I'm Steve with GBTC.
Come on. Cornerback, kick punt return, wide receiver.
I'll be over here. I'll let you know if I need anything.
Just came in to set up your Wi-Fi.
Thanks, Steve.
We're back. The Rangers with a 2nd and long. Eilers, a little jet sweep. It's Rivera who takes it, hurdles a defender, and then gets popped. And that's Jasso again, who kind of excited that he got the last lick on that one. And he's celebrating. His teammates know that this is the last game of the season, but they're celebrating like they're going on.
I'll tell you what, I would be jumping up too. That was a heck of a hit right there. Clean hit too.
Yes, it was.
He caught him in midair, and that was why it was just a good-looking hit. You like your safeties to come up and be headhunters, to be honest with you. It intimidates the running back when they break through the line of scrimmage.
Oh, no, you can't do that. Eilers being chased. Brought down, pass complete out on the edge. It looks like Pierce who caught it. He fights for first down yardage. I don't think he got it.
A little short.
Looks like it'll be 4th and 1 from the 49, but Colton Eilers did a great job of getting that ball out. And Brance Anderson actually made the catch, but it'll be a yard short, and it looks like the offense may stay out on the field.
It does look like it.
9:48, and the clock runs in the 4th.
You know, you can just about do anything you want to in this situation. I think Coach Hill just wants to make sure he's getting some of these younger kids more playing time. Not only just because it keeps the first team off the field, but this is valuable time and lessons for them to learn being in a game situation.
Eggleston, the tailback. Cervantes goes in motion. They want to throw it to him. Instead, they throw deep. It's Rivera. Catches it. Then he gets his face mask pulled, it looked like. Somebody had him by the ear hole, maybe. He makes the catch out beyond the 35 to the 34-yard line. It's 1st and 10 Rangers.
But Rivera's a little guy, 5'6", 145, but I tell you what, he hung in there after making the catch and got popped pretty good. Give that young man some credit after that hit.
He's been popped a couple of times and keeps coming back.
Yeah.
Kind of like a Timex watch. 2 receivers to the right. The lone setback is Eggleston. Behind Eilers, takes the handoff, kind of stuttered step to the line, then kind of burst through. He continues to keep the legs moving. See where they spot him at the 32, a gain of about 4, maybe 3 yards. As the defense actually did a better job of containing them than the different crowds kind of broke off.
Yeah. They're doing a little bit of substituting, it looks like, right now on offense and letting some of the younger kids get some action. I like it.
Lots of Rangers playing tonight in the second half. 37-9 the score. They lead the J Mustangs in this first-round playoff game. Eilers hands off. Eggleston breaks it outside, gets outside the containment, and then gets inside the 30 to the 26-yard line. He'll be just short of a first down. It'll be 3rd and 2 before he's wrestled out of bounds by Moreno, the defensive end. Rangers have some choices now on 3rd and 2 from the 26.
Well, they need 2 yards for first down. They put Franco back in the backfield. Coach Hill's probably thinking, let's go ahead and punch this in and get another first down, and then keep substituting, letting some of the younger kids get some action.
Keep that clock moving.
Yeah.
Although it stops with the run out of bounds. So 3rd and 2. Franco back at tailback. A couple of halfbacks on the edge. Franco gets a first down yardage as he goes straight ahead with a good offensive line surge. I see Jesse Clifton out laying on top of somebody beyond the 25-yard line, so he got a good lick in there. First down yardage to the 23. It's 1st and 10.
You know, my bad, Tony. I thought that they were just putting Franco back in for the first down opportunity, but actually Eggleston came out. Looked like he was limping. Looked like he turns an ankle or something like that. That's why Franco went back in.
Okay, good call. Way to spot that. Franco's in the game still. They'll run it to the right. Tries to bounce outside, then cuts it back in. Gets wrestled down across the, maybe to the 21-yard line. A short gain of about 3 brings up 2nd and 7 again. Their defensive line starting to reassert itself a little bit at the tail end of this drive.
Well, they're getting tired too. You can see their hands on their hips. They're kind of walking around slow, stiff-legged. Yeah, they're showing some signs of fatigue, and that's when you get players hurt. And first and foremost, you just don't play your technique very well because you're not going 100%. So if they can get some fresh legs in there, it's probably helpful.
2 receivers to the right. Eilers hands it off to Franco again, straight up the middle.
Not much.
Safety Jasso among those, pushing back. He comes out with the ball as he reached in and grabbed it from Franco as he was going down, but the whistle had already sounded. Spotted at the 18. That'll be 3rd and 5 from there. They need to get to about the 13 for a first down. Defense kind of spotted that one in a hurry. Everybody ran to the hole.
Well, and the clock keeps running. Now it's 3rd and, I don't know, I say that's kind of long.
One of the backup tight ends, Mark Craven, just came off the field, so we'll go with 3 receivers, all broke to the right. Franco now straight behind Eilers. He'll turn and hand off it again. Not a whole lot of room, though, as the offensive line not getting as much surge as they had earlier. They're no doubt getting tired, too. Backup left guard, Merrick Everett in there. Ball spotted at the 17. They need to get to the 13, so a gain of 1. It's 4th and 4.
What do you do, Coach? What do you do? It looks like they're keeping the offense out there.
Yes.
You know, even if we don't get it, it's very bad field position for Jay, so you might as well just go for it.
And the clock is running.
And the clock is running, exactly.
Now at 5.5 minutes to go in the game, 37-9 Rangers. Eilers. Franco behind him, Cervantes to his left, wants to throw it out to the flat, intended for Brance Anderson. The pass incomplete as it was not on target, and the Rangers will turn it over on downs.
You know, I was going to comment earlier about John Jay and the Mustang program, and you know, this is a program that in the football world hasn't been to this level as often here recently. But I remember going back to the 1970s when I played at Churchill. Every year, John Jay was one of the toughest teams you'd ever have to play against, and we'd always have to play him deep in the playoffs too. And they had that kind of tradition. They would send kids to Division I colleges all over the country. So it has a storied history of having success on the football field. Just recently, they haven't had that.
Hastings takes the handoff on first down and gets popped a couple of times and goes down hard. They're all getting up kind of slow now. Offensive lineman and Hastings.
Start substituting in right now.
Defensive unit for the Rangers sending a lot of players in. Yep. Woodard comes out. hopefully for the last time. Witcher comes out, hopefully for the last time. Pierce comes out for hopefully the last time. Chubb and Johnson still in at safety. A bunch of others, some of the linebackers still in there. Second and about 7 from the, well, they're going to hand it off to Hastings. Really, they're just kind of handing it off now.
I don't know why they didn't run that little kind of option-looking play. That was a good-looking play with Zeno and Hastings. They scored, Zeno scored it. He scored the touchdown on that play, and they ran it one time before for first down.
You know what? I don't even think it's Hastings in there now that I look at it. I think it could be 29, Jonathan Gomez. I don't know. Do you see Hastings?
I can't see in the huddle right now.
No, that's Hastings. That's Hastings beside him. So Gomez was in as a receiver or something on that last play. Zeno hands it off. Now fakes the handoff, keeps it himself. Runs across the 25 out near the 30. That'll be first down yardage for the Mustangs.
Yeah. Well, bottom line is they do have talent. Zeno's a heck of a looking athlete. He's out there doing all he can with a little bit of help that he has, and Hastings is a good-looking athlete too. They have another year. Both of them have another year.
Yes.
So you can see the J Mustang offense being pretty potent in 2018. Had the potential to be in.
Perez, the only senior among the receivers. Ranger defense now presents some options. Hand off to Hastings up the middle, gets a couple of yards. Offensive line still blocking hard. A gain to the 35 makes it about call it a 4-yard gain, 5-yard gain, so it's second down and 5 from the 35. We'll go under 3 minutes with the next snap. Zeno has 2 receivers out either side. Hastings the lone setback. It's not Zeno anymore, by the way. Jackson Egbert, the backup quarterback, 3 of 4 on the season, 75% passing, wants to run it. Pitches late to Hastings. Rangers are there, though, and actually get a tackle for loss. Good job of following it. Corey McElroy, one of those in on the tackle.
That was that option play I was commenting earlier about. It's a good-looking play. I probably would have cut up if I was the quarterback during that time because the defender definitely had Hastings covered up.
We're all new on the defense, I believe, now. I don't see a single guy who started out there. As the handoff faked again, Zeno runs ahead, the 35 to about the 38. Or I'm sorry,
that's Egbert.
Egbert again. So he gets a gain. It'll bring up 4th and about 3. Looks like right now in the 4th quarter, Westlake leads MacArthur 49-14. That means the Rangers and the Chaparrals will meet next Friday at 1 o'clock. We'll tell you more about that as we go through the rest of the game as we go under 2 minutes to play in this one. Egbert waits for the snap, takes it, scrambles left, has a seam, breaks it upfield, gets bumped from back before he. I think they're going to give him first down yardage as the referee was beyond the 40. Now he came back to the 40. We'll see where they'll spot it. If it's at the 40, it's a first down, and that will be
first down.
A reason to keep that clock moving.
Yep.
It is a first down. Again, Westlake wins it. It'll be Smithson Valley's Rangers against the Westlake Chaparrals next Friday, November 24th, 1 o'clock at Alamo Stadium. The Rangers will be the home team in that one. And again, we'll talk about it a lot, but you can find everything you want to know about the Rangers playoffs drive on the Rangers Network. First down play, late pitch. Hastings takes it. Tries to scramble a little bit. Defense not hitting nearly as hard as they were earlier. Kind of drags him down in a pile. A lot of different numbers out there making tackles. Michael Smith among those in on that tackle. He sang the national anthem last week.
Oh, I didn't know that.
He did. A gain of 5 by Hastings, on the pitch. Brings up second down and 5 with 40 seconds to go. This could be the last play of the game. Egbert looks to the sideline. Gets his play. Play clock nearing 10. Takes the snap, wants to throw, looks left for Hastings. It'll go incomplete as it was broke up by a blitzing Corey McElroy. And that'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go and won't be the last play of the game. So we'll have to do it again on third down.
I bet you McElroy wish he had that half a step more. He would have had 6 points as a pick six there.
He was close. We see lots of taillights in the parking lot as some of the visiting fans have made their way out of this one. The Rangers defensive unit trying to make one last stop here with 26 seconds to go, up 37-9. The Mustangs with backup quarterback Jackson Egbert. Handed off to Hastings, but the Ranger defense is there. A lot of them there. Jacob Cox, a linebacker. Also in on the play, Alfonso Valdez. As they continue to shuffle in defenders, the game clock's now under 10 seconds to go. That'll be the final play of the game. The Rangers will win it and advance in the playoffs. The 2017 playoff run for the Rangers moves to another week as they win their first round game 37-9 over the J Mustangs. The Rangers improved to 10-1 on the season, and they'll play next week against Austin Westlake. We'll tell you more about that game and a lot more, and even go through some final stats as the Rangers win it on the Ranger Network.
The University Interscholastic League would like to thank its corporate sponsors. Without the generous support of these sponsors, many UIL activities would not be possible. The UIL gives special thanks to the Army National Guard, Baden, Balfour, Baylor Scott and White, Dairy Max, Dairy Queen, Ford, Fox Sports Southwest, Gatorade, Hellas Construction, Max Preps, the NFHS Network, Nike, Register My Athlete, Texas Farm Bureau Insurance, and Tick-A-Tap Ticketing. These generous corporate sponsors support the UIL in all its activities, music, academics, and athletics. The UIL appreciates these sponsors and their participation in all that the UIL does in Texas extracurricular activities. On behalf of the UIL and its corporate sponsors, thank you for supporting UIL activities in your community, and thank you for listening to this state playoff contest. Enjoy the game.
We just got the GVTC Connect Home with Sky Bell.
Wow, you can see who's at your front door. Who is that?
Hello, Mr. Mueller. It's Marty from GVTC.
That's Mason Pierce, senior wide receiver and defensive back for the Rangers.
No, just Marty. Making sure everything's working. Video, doorbell, remote arming and disarming of your alarm. And you're getting text messages when windows or doors are opened.
Marty, watch this. RANGERS, Rangers, Rangers!
The best! I mean, the best security on the planet.
When you're ready for a break, into Chicken Express. Let us do all the cooking for you. We always offer high-quality, affordable meals that the entire family will enjoy. Our chicken is never frozen and it's hand-battered fresh so you can really taste the difference. You can expect fast and friendly service at Chicken Express, whether you dine in, drive through, or drive up. Hurry in and hurry back to Chicken Express.
Can you see the screen?
The Smithson Valley Rangers advance 37-9. They defeat the J Mustangs. Funny though, stats can tell different stories. The most amazing one to me, both teams had 14 first downs. The Rangers 379 total offensive yards to 244. So give the defense, the Ranger defense, a lot of credit.
Yep.
They've been averaging 252 yards of the defense, giving up 252 yards a game, which is remarkably low. And this game's even better at 244. They've been giving up about 13.5 points a game. They give up 9 tonight. So in the first round playoff game, they do them both better. Really, turnovers. I don't think, did we have a turnover tonight?
Not one turnover, fumble lost by the John Jay. That's what it shows.
No, it says they didn't lose it, though.
Oh, I'm sorry.
They fumbled, but they didn't lose it. So no turnovers.
No turnovers.
So both teams' turnover ratio stays the same. So passing-wise, 9 of 22 for the Mustangs, pardon me. For the Rangers, 12 of 20. Again, Levi Williams with a spectacular night of 6 for 11 in the first half, 185 yards and 3 touchdowns. That's really the story for him. He only played a half. Mark Franco ended up with 93 yards on 18 carries, almost 6 yards a carry. the leading receivers, well, there's 3 of them. Well, 2 of them really. Adorzal Hunter, 3 catches, 48 yards, including a touchdown. Woodard had 2 catches for 103 yards and a touchdown. And also it was, with the other touchdown was Mason Pierce. He only had 2 catches for 29 yards, but one was a 30-yard touchdown reception. So the Rangers win it. They win it 37-9. They will advance to the area round of the playoffs, and they'll take on Westlake, who was last score beating MacArthur 49-14. It'll be the Rangers and the Chaparrals next Friday, 1 week from today, at 1 o'clock at Alamo Stadium, and the Rangers will be the home team. So again, check out more details of things to come on the Rangers Network, because we will have it, they'll have it, we'll all have it, and we'll all go home happy tonight as the Rangers win it 37-9. Any final thoughts, Jeff?
No, just a typical game. You know, you want to take control of the game on the very beginning, first quarter, first 2 possessions. You know, that's what the Rangers did. And they, you know, we commented in the pregame, and that is, this is when the season starts. You get into post-season play. This is what all that hard work and all those months before leading up to. And this is very much at home. This is comfortable for the Ranger program. So they're right at home. They feel comfortable. They came out and showed that they're back in, back in all cylinders firing, and they looked good. They took advantage of opportunities and came out with a big win.
And even though Levi Williams didn't look as healthy as we've seen him during the season, what that little neck of a hip injury is, he got plenty of rest tonight, didn't take any serious hits, didn't really run the ball tonight, which was probably on purpose. And he'll be back next week as the Rangers take on Westlake again. Alamo Stadium, 1 o'clock next Friday. Also in CISD, the Canyon Lake looks like a 31-21 apparent victory over Gatesville. Canyon Lake will advance to the second round of the playoffs as well with a win tonight, 31-21 over Gatesville in the closing minutes of that one over there down the road at Canyon Lake. So congratulations to the Hawks. They're on a roll as well, and they'll have a playoff game next week as well, and we'll tell you all about that again as you continue to follow the Rangers and the Hawks.
There you go. Come on, I mean, this district's being represented out there. That's great.
Good district. Again, thanks to Chris Gutierrez on stats. Thanks to Jeff Gandy for being the color announcer tonight. My name's Tony Brubaker saying good night, and God bless. The Rangers win it 37-9.